Someday maybe we'll find out about that.
The time is now, the vibe is now. I see you moving towards my way. You want me to get close to you. I feel your body next to me. Feels like you were only there for a season, but we can relink, don't need reason. Cause tonight's about you. Tonight's about you. Girl, it's the way you move. Can't nobody doubt you. Tonight's about you. Tonight's about you. Tonight's about you. I know you don't play games. I know you the same, but you still find new ways to ignite all this passion. Make all of your waves, girl. I'm truly astounded by you. She like the room like a high beam. Smooth girl, you move like lightning. True queen, everything you do me. Head to the shoes, kill it all like it's routine. Everything she do nicely. Independent woman on her own type of vibe. She got it on her own, gone, girl, you might be everything that make a young man sing. You that one dog singer. The time is now, the vibe is now. I see you moving towards my way. You want me to get close to you. I feel your body next to me. Feels like you were only there for a season, but we can relink, don't need reason. Cause tonight's about you. Tonight's about you. Girl, it's the way you move. Can't nobody doubt you. Tonight's about you. Tonight's about you.
Hey, yo, Chili's man, we live. Let's see some hunters in the chat. Hunters in spaces, we burn it on me tonight. Let's go.
High heels in motion. Her time heals what's broken. I know you the same, but I can't help the notion. Maybe if you spent one night, we'd get close. And I don't know what that just might do. Still, girl, we can run that when we done that. Cash out fast and make a run back on a comeback. Girl, you know I want that. Sing you, I want that. Sing, girl, ain't nothing that scene. Another one that's some trouble, some kill it, disrupt it, you kill it, baby, then double down. Give me, baby, make it, give me soon as you come around. I see that fire in your eyes. Let's burn this crib down for the night. The time is now, the vibe is now. I see you moving towards my way. You want me to get close to you. I feel your body next to me. Feels like you were only there for a season, but we can relink, don't need reason. Cause tonight's about you. Tonight's about you. Girl, it's the way you move. Can't nobody doubt you. Tonight's about you. Tonight's about you.
Again.
All right, welcome. We are live. I want to check all my settings here, make sure we're good. But I already see we got some thumbs up on the stream. Appreciate everyone who's already done that. We got a lot to cover today, so I'm excited. I'm just moving stuff around on my desk here. Give me 1 second. Gosh. All right, so what we're gonna do is we're gonna start off in this new Web3 game. We're not gonna play any of the games, but we're gonna open some of the what they call hexes, which is the packs. So I have some available, and these are actual like NFTs. So I actually own one item in the game right now. I opened one earlier just to kind of see how it all works. And this is what I ended up pulling. So I pulled a mint number 13,960 out of 1.5 million. that were minted. And look at this. It shows me like the actual floor price. I can look at the 1 day, the 7 day, the 30 day. And then, yeah, I can kind of list it whenever I want to. So I technically own this in the game. And then we're going to get some others, I guess, based on what we pull from these. So that's how we're going to start the stream. So I wanted to talk about a little bit about this game. And then we're going to move over into what Ben's been doing lately. So he did an interview with Randy yesterday. I think he also made an appearance on the 24/7 comic stream. I think I saw a clip of him on there, even though he wasn't like promoted on the banner or anything. And then My Collectibles was also part of that stream as well. So we're going to watch that back. And then what am I missing here? The new comic publisher that Vivi announced, which is ABLAZE. We're going to take a look at some of the titles that they have, their website, and yeah, chat about that as well. So if you guys enjoy the stream, make sure to hit the thumbs up, subscribe, follow if you guys haven't done that already, and as always, let's get into it. So let me know, guys, in the chat if you guys are playing this game at all. I've only played it a little bit so far. It's quite laggy on my end, but no, it's pretty unique. It's pretty cool. So. And then also let me know if audio is okay too. Be helpful. But we have 2 weapon hexes, we have 2 cyber limbs, and then we have customization item. Body hex. So this is the body, torso. So we have 6 that we can open. And then I don't know if we can buy any more. Can we buy any more? I don't know. We'll figure that out. But let's open the first one here. Neat little animation. Alrighty. We picked we pulled a Flenser. Mint 11,864 out of 2 million. It's a shotgun. It's an uncommon, so it also shows you the rarity, which is really cool as well. I don't know what all the rarities are. I've seen common, uncommon, and rare so far, and then I think epic. Favored by riot police in developing countries, shines when rubber bullets aren't enough. With a high capacity mag and huge stopping power, it was the first shotgun designed by an all-female team. NRA spokesman Majorie Frencham called it a inspiration to little girls everywhere. So I'm gonna go over here now. I want to see. So this is going in the market right now for a floor price of 19. And I just pulled it for 1. So I guess that's kind of good. I think. I think. But yeah, now we got 2 items. We got 2 items in our inventory here. Now, what's unique about this game is it's a battle royale. So you drop in and you kind of pick up your weapons based on the crates you open. But you also have the option of dropping in with your loadout. So you start with nothing, and then as you can see, this is the 1 item that I had already, so I've assigned that, and now what I can do is assign the weapon that I just got, which is a what? Is it not one of these? No? Oh, it's okay, it's not one of, oh, that's why I'm on assault rifle, duh. Okay, so here it is. So I got the uncommon. Okay, so the rarities allow you to attach an additional item. So I got the uncommon. So now this is my default loadout. So when I drop in, what's going on, Sven? Cool to see off the grid NFTs, maybe do a small gameplay too. Yeah, we did some gameplay last weekend. We might run into that to end the stream, but I want to transition into the other VV stuff relatively fast here. But yeah, so you drop in with your loadout now, and this is something that I'll always have, so that's kind of cool. Let's keep pulling these. Got another. Let's save the weapon. Let's do one of the limbs here. Let's do rare. No, we'll do uncommon. Save the rare for a good time. What's going on, back door? Oh, and VV Zombie. What up, what up? What do we pull? 8,309 out of 4 million. Hey, dude, I'll take that. 4 million? Right arm. It's an uncommon. And this is the firearm. Okay, so you can toss the fire down. Very cool, very cool. So now we can add this. Currently going for 6 on the market. View marketplace offerings. Oh. See, you get the exact edition number and everything. And what's so cool about this game, guys, is you don't really need to know anything about blockchain or crypto to get involved, but they also kind of take it even a step further than VV does right now, where, you know, to get onto VV, you need to at least put, like, you know, your credit card in and buy gems and things like that. With this right now, I haven't had to do any of that. Like, I downloaded the game, and somewhere along that process, they have an agreement with Epic Games where it just made my wallet. I didn't create the wallet. I didn't create an account with some third-party platform. I just signed into the game, and then all of a sudden I have this wallet right here, and I can do all of this stuff in game. I didn't have to create any accounts, which is really interesting. So are you excited about the possibility of having referral codes now being a content creator? Yeah, I mean, VV's said that they've been working on their content or their creator program for a little bit now. An affiliate program is something I've discussed for I mean, I did a video on it. I want to say like episode 30 something. I think just given how strong our community is, I think that it's a no-brainer to have something like that. But yeah, I mean, we kind of already got a little taste of I think what's going to happen when we saw Cryptoys open their transfer features. So we started to see, you know, creators like Hanano and D, you know, start to do more giveaways with Cryptoys. And you know, if VV, I mean, transfers isn't the exact same thing, but it just, you know, a referral code still allows me to get involved with my community a little bit more. So absolutely. Referral codes, transfers, anything. Let's open up, let's do one of these customization ones. What is your username on Off the Grid? It's my Epic Games username. You and I are already friends. It's fine. Whatever you're using for your Epic Games username is what you come in on. Collector's Gone Digital, and that's my point, right? Like, I just downloaded the game and I logged in and everything was set up. I didn't have to do anything. Which, for every single game that I've downloaded through Epic Games right now that's on the blockchain or has NFTs involved, there is a point where it prompts you to sign up for some sort of like third-party account, like Illuvium, for example, right? Anyways, let me stop talking here. Let me open up another one. Customization, uncommon, decode. What do we got? Oh, come on. I don't want an eyebrow. 2,532 out of 1.75 million. Not even gonna look into that, to be honest. Let's do, we got the common, we got the rare and the rare here. Let's just do this one again. Body hex. Okay, so okay. When they said body, I was thinking like torso, like the armor. They mean actual like body parts. Okay, cyan hair. Interesting. Mint 1,837 out of 1.5 million. If this game takes off and those numbers get eaten up, it's going to be really interesting to see where the market goes. There's already pieces here where if I go to appearance, right, and I go to, well, I'll click on any one of these innerwear. There's default ones that are unlocked, but then you can open up, or you can click on any of these locked ones and go to view marketplace. I mean, like 2,400 right here. for the Prankster t-shirt. Prankster actually... Oh, that's one of the really expensive sets, but probably a bad example, but it shows you where things are kind of already going. New hair. Look at this. Look at that. All right. Backdoor says nice min. Yeah, it wasn't too bad actually. Oh, is this a sniper? Yes, sniper. Common, I'll take it. It's a sniper. 11,006 at a 2.5 million. An experimental semi-automatic. What does that say? Bullpup sniper rifle. I'm not wearing my glasses. For long-range precise strikes. Its advanced construction combined with a neural interface ensures high fire rate and accuracy. The weapon of choice for the she-wolf responsible for the assassinations of at least 2 presidents. A weird fact at the end there, but okay. Oh, look at this. 75 in the market. No marketplace offerings. View marketplace. Oh, no, it's not 75 in the market. It's 10. So why was it showing me... Oh, it's 7.5. I'm blind. See? I'm not wearing my glasses. Sven says, I would need a hat, like a gold and silver logo hat on this. Yeah, well, Mr. MC1 should get on that, shouldn't he? They don't really have, too many cosmetics in the game yet. I assume a lot of it's gonna be, like secondary market, like upsells, kind of like Fortnite. But you do have some here. Nothing that I'm like, ooh, ah. But no gold and silver hat for you, Sven. Backdoor says facts. All right, we got one more, I think, right? Yeah, one more. All right, one more, and then let me know in the chat, guys, what you guys want to do first. Do you guys want to do the 24/7 comic stream, Ben's interview with Randy, or do you guys want to look at the new comic publisher? Let me know. 9,172 out of 3 million. It's a rare paralyzer. What does this one do again? Paralyzer. Fires EMP grenades that stick to any surface, detonating in a blaze of electromagnetic radiation, turning formidable augmented foes into defensible targets. Alrighty. I will take it. Don't really have a choice, but I will take it. Sven says the ninja suit looks like fire. Soon a collector's gone digital skin. Yeah, we already got some big names in the game. This is the only big name right now. I think it's actually the only skin that you can buy. Oh, what is this, actually? Explore Battle Pass. Oh, I haven't looked at this. Hang on. Items claimed. This is oh, okay. Okay, so you have like 5 different parts to the battle pass, and then each part is a different... Is it character? No, never mind. It's a full battle pass, each one. 3 parts in each. Cool. BB Zombie says, interview with Ben. Noted. Noted. Let me add this to... We want this as the primary and the sniper as the secondary. Yes. Perfect. Love it. The skins in game NFTs? Yes, I assume so. Buy on marketplace. Yeah, I'm not sure if there's actually like a set edition size, or if just the amount of subscribers during the pre-game launch is going to determine how many get minted. But it does say buy on marketplace, which makes me think that it is. I don't see why they would have all this stuff as NFTs and then this, like, not, you know? Is the Battle Royale not available yet? No, it's not. So if I go to play... Oh, not play. If I go here, it says coming soon. Here, let's actually watch this. I haven't watched this before. Evolve, what up, man? Oh, wait, is this the intro? Or the trailer? Have I sold anything yet? No, I only have 3 items.
I didn't come to this godforsaken island looking for money.
No, haven't sold anything. Although some of those lower editions I might try and flip.
You awake? You hear me? Yeah, I fucking heard you.
Yeah, the language in this game, guys, is kind of harsh. Just heads up.
Team come down my mind. They got our loot. And that is.
I need to turn the volume up, though. Hang on.
Keep your eyes on the target, Slick. Oh, I am.
Evolve says they're just on blockchain, so in my opinion, definitely NFTs. I've sold 3 things. Pretty active. Bunch of undervalued stuff. So harsh. It is. Some of the lines, dude, are making me laugh. Yeah, they definitely didn't hold back with this game, that's for sure. Peter says you need a battle pass to sell anything. I don't know if you're asking that, but I don't think so. I have the option of selling the items in my inventory. I don't have battle pass right now, so. No, I assume the way they're probably going to do it is just the battle pass is going to make it easier to kind of earn tokens and like some of the cosmetics and things. Pay to play, right? Like Fortnite. But if you don't want to spend the money, then you can kind of put in the time to kind of earn the tokens just slower. You can buy but not sell? Interesting. So what am I seeing in the market then? What are all those listings? Are those people with the battle pass, or are you just saying that you can't sell without it? Or can you sell when the game like fully launches? Sven says it runs on my laptop at the moment quite good. Well, that's good to hear. Dude, Sven, I think today I finally solved the issue with my PC crashing. Talk about trial and error and having to figure out what the issue was, but my goodness, dude. I'll explain it to you later. But yeah, it was like a moment of relief when I figured it out. Evolve says there's a breakdown on the OTG Pro tab. Okay, I'll look at that. You need Battle Pass to sell items. Interesting.
Wait till they get right up against that call.
Peter says Avalanche. Yeah, it's on the Avalanche blockchain. The coin's not on an exchange yet. The right now, because the game is in pre-launch or early access, I guess is the term they use. The only way to earn the token is in game, or if you have like your own, if you own your own gaming node.
This whole island is a meat grinder.
Evolve says 1 successful flip so far. Have you pulled anything nice, dude? Any cool weapons? Nice addition numbers?
Hey, wake up! Get back in the fight here! Grant! Grant! I need a hand here!
Alright, cool. Cool. To be honest, I wasn't even really watching that. But yeah, we'll switch over to the interview now. If you guys haven't checked out this game, we will come back to it on the channel. Highly recommend checking it out. They also have like really cool like little clips before each game where it's kind of like a District 9 kind of vibe. It's made to look like it's actual military footage of like soldiers training with the limbs and everything on. It looks really cool. So anyways, check it out. We're gonna switch over to the interview now, so just give me 1 sec while I pull that up. Ba, 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 ba.
This is apple juice, by the way. This is
apple juice. All right, what's everyone saying before we start this? I'm trying to remember where I left off in the chat here. Sven. I just lost my legs on the game and repaired them. Yeah, for some reason, like, you'll just randomly lose your legs sometimes. I think it's a bug in the game, but it's meant to happen when you, like, jump from high distances. But I'll just be running, and then all of a sudden, my legs will just, like, break. Evolve says nice addition numbers, some cool gun skins. It is way too quiet in the background here. I need to put some background music. Little pet peeve of mine here. Should we do the... Nope. That's too slow. There we go. Nice addition numbers, some cool gun skins. Peter Android, Technocore game. Is that who makes it? Is that who you're saying? OTG all day. Evolve says. Let's go. Yeah, it's a cool game. I can't wait for the full game release because I assume that it's going to be a lot like less jumpy. I'm reading a lot of articles right now of people saying that their systems meet the requirements of what they're saying you need to run the game, but a lot of people are like lagging, and especially when you like jump to go down into the map. I'm sure you probably know what I mean, but anyways, let me stop rambling here. Let's get started with this. Ben sat down with Randy. We're gonna watch this back and see kind of what they said. So
this is not. Hey everyone, how's it going? It is I, the real Randy Chavez.
By the way, guys, if you're enjoying the stream, make sure to like, and if you can, take a moment to share the stream. It goes a long way. The more people in here, the more entertaining it is for everyone.
Today with a VV Crypto Chavez podcast update video with my guest, co-CEO Ben Rose of VV. You've had a very colorful history. Everyone, let's say hello to Dashi first. Hello, Dashi. You said that you have known me. Thank you for watching my stuff. You said you've had an anonymous account where you tend to watch everybody. Before we get started, what's the wildest thing that you've seen or you've learned from either the team, the VV influencers? What is this person doing? Why did they do that? Is there any questions you have or something that you've learned that you're really curious about?
I was quite surprised and amazed at just the extremity of people's emotions. So on my first day,
I can't tell you how many times I've done that, guys, while live. I have paused the flipping video and talked into the mic while it's muted. Evolve, dude, let me say that again. I just brought down the quality and haven't experienced anything like that. I was saying that, how low have you brought it down? Because I'm still running on medium, and my FPS is set to, I think, unlimited. So it's not like super low, but it's definitely not high by any means. So the trees still look like triangles, if you know what I mean.
I got sworn at, which was kind of interesting. My favourite post, which I've saved a copy of, was "Who the hell's Ben Rose and what difference does it make?" So there was a bit of that, and that came as a surprise because I hadn't done anything yet. But also just the strength of the welcome, publicly and privately. That was pretty cool. So that it shouldn't have come as a surprise because I was told to expect it, but you don't know it until you're in it, right? So that was just the passion of the community.
True. As said on your O'Malley interview, said you do not have a problem with cursing, and you don't have to do it right now, but at some point you have to tell me, like, who cursed at you? What was the curse? I'm very curious about that. Thank you, Lilith, for the shout out.
I'll have to check.
So I do want to start this.
Evolve says these interviews sound repetitive.
I don't know who the quote
I'll be the
is from
first one to
originally,
agree with
but
you on
this
that,
is
dude.
from, an episode of Gilmore Girls. Comment down below if you love the show. From Paris Geller is talking to Rory, saying, "I cannot remember the books I've read any more than the meals I've eaten. Even so, they have made me." Question for you to start this off: what has made you?
A few things. I had a really good example.
I really can't even make this up. Did I just do that twice in a row? I'm going to say that again because I don't know if my mic was muted or not. If it was, my goodness. But Evolved said, these interviews sound repetitive. I just said, yeah, dude, I'll be the first one to second that. I agree. They have been repetitive right now. Even the engagement on my last video recapping Ben's last interview, it's way down. So, yeah. Itchy agrees. Peter agrees. Evolve says just leave it unmuted. Yeah. Yeah. I'll do that. I'll do that.
So really
I'm always self-conscious that
shout out to Mum.
my keyboard's too loud
So
on my
I
mouse
think
and all that.
That's I mean, she literally made me, but also taught me a huge amount. I think moving to a new country by myself made me. So immigrants who are watching this will get that feeling of turning up in a new place with a suitcase and going, okay, this is it. How do I make this work? And what does this look like? And I remember my very first night in New Zealand as a slightly younger guy than I am now, sitting on the end of a bed, which I had just bought in a rental. And it was a Friday night, and I remember thinking, where do people even go? What do they do? And so that going from zero to building up a life in a new place and learning, and now, decades later, absolutely love this place and this is home. I think that made me too. That sense of like real challenge, and it kind of made me a bit of a challenge junkie as well. So that's reflected in the jobs I've done over the years. Like I love hard stuff. So I think those would be two of the main things. I
feel you. Everyone has commented and asked like all the questions that they want to know, and they might be a little.
Paul says, this made me laugh last night. Randy too busy looking at the chat and ignoring Ben, followed by Ben looking very confused by some of the stuff Randy is coming out with. Interesting. All right. Well, this is my first time watching it. I'm also noticing the time on this. Was he here for the full hour? Oh, he was. Okay, we have an hour interview. I was expecting like 30 minutes, like Comics and Crypto. Evolve says Stream Deck incoming. Yeah, I need one of those.
Little disappointed here. I'm going to ask the questions that I would want to know if I were looking into a CEO of a company that I was looking to invest in. And part of which is getting into your psyche and learning who you are as a person, a deeper look at you, your early life and career. For me, I loved Steve Irwin, Pokemon, just different things growing up. Who were your
Steve Irwin
inspirations
was a
growing up?
gem.
Favorite superheroes as a kid?
So you can tell that I'm British because I'm quite. I used to love Super Ted and Banana Man. They were some of my favorites. And for comics, I was a real Beano kid. I'm just all about the Beano. And for if you know, you know, my absolute dream was to own a Nasher badge. So yeah, grew up with those comics, the Beano, the Dandy.
If you know, you know. I don't know.
So that was back then. And then yeah, got into Sesame Street, as I've mentioned a few times as I got a little bit older, still into that. But also as a
Paul
kid,
says some
I was
half decent
big
questions,
into
some very strange
WWF,
ones.
as it was back then. Like just
Oh, you're getting me more excited for this video now, man.
So yeah, I can't get enough of the Ultimate Warrior and Hulk Hogan and Jesse the Body Ventura and all those guys. I just loved it, and I just remember sitting cross-legged on about 6 o'clock in the morning in the lounge while everyone else slept, watching that stuff, thinking, "Wow, those guys are awesome."
Oh yeah, and because you're in Europe, so you had to watch early in the morning. The rest of us watching late at night. So that is an adorable picture. You sitting crisscross applesauce with like a whole cereal. So, how have your heroes changed as you've gotten older? As you've gone into early adulthood, and now being a dad, how have they changed?
So I'm one of the things that I'm really passionate about and just absolutely love is languages. And so as I went through,
this is something I want to know more about him. I know he speaks 6 languages, but I want to know first off why, and second off how long, and if he's learning anymore.
It's quite geeky, but I just really got into languages. I had an amazing teacher at high school.
It's not the most important thing to know, but just curious.
Taught Spanish, and he was like, just you know how sometimes you get teachers who
No, Sven, he's in New Zealand.
They just inspire you. This guy just developed this love of languages for me, and I ended up going to university and studying languages. And the more I discovered, actually, it was Spanish and Portuguese is what I studied. And the more I discovered about those cultures, the more I learned about different parts of the literature, that kind of stuff. The more I kind of just got really excited by it. So yeah, university was a really pivotal time for me when I kind of just learned there's a whole wide world out there, and just the what you learn at university is you learn how to learn and just open your mind up. And I loved it, absolutely loved just really geeking out and just learning that if you're really into something, there's nothing to be ashamed of in just embracing it. You know, when you're at school and you're a teenager and it's being really into stuff, it's not that cool.
Lame.
I think part of maturing as an adult and certainly finding my tribe at university, as lots of people do, was just understanding, you know what, if you're really into stuff, just embrace it. And so yeah, for me at the time it was languages, and it always has been. I've always loved adding new languages and new cultures to the list of ones that I'm just about okay at.
That's cool. Learning multiple languages is something very, very hard to do. And I only speak one. I don't need to speak many to know that. We got VV Zombie saying, didn't know you hadn't watched the video yet. That's why I brought up the creator program and referral program. Oh, okay, so it's mentioned in this. I know they have brought it up before though, so I didn't know what you're talking about. Volv says, anytime I've commented on his stream, he ignores me. I've tried multiple times. Well, hey, it's a law of average. I don't know if you were ever in that web V space, dude. It's a law of average. It's a numbers game. Just keep going. Every comment gets you closer to a response, Evolved. Apparently English is the hardest language to learn. Yeah, apparently. It's English, and then I think next to it is Mandarin.
I can see why you love blockchain, because that's...
Or no, sorry. No, let me correct myself. Mandarin isn't the second hardest, it's the second most common.
Language. Everything that we have is in the Web3 NFT space is a new language. It really means a lot to me that you really value intellectualism, schooling, and all that. In an interview last year, and you had some amazing questions that you asked last year. I don't know if you thought those or you got them from someone else, but amazing questions you had with David last year. You mentioned that you had a teenage daughter with whom you play Fortnite with.
Oh,
But
what?
What's
Ben plays Fortnite? I didn't know that. Hey, Ben, if you're watching this, dude, or if you're watching it later, you got an open invite to a Fortnite stream.
the best part
Let's run a squad and talk some VV.
about being a parent?
Wow. There are so many. So I've got 3 daughters. My wife and I have got 3 daughters. Must shout out to my wife because she did the really hard work. But we've got 3 daughters. The best part of being a parent for me is just watching them grow. You know, like those. And it's not just the big milestones, but just the little things as you start to see them turning into people that, you know, they as they get older, they don't have to hang out with you. They might choose to, and it starts. They're not, you know, they're not babies anymore. They're people. And so, yeah, we've got 3 really different, really interesting personalities who are just, yeah, growing, developing, learning stuff, making mistakes along the way. That's the cool stuff. That's the stuff I really enjoy.
That's fun when they choose to hang out with you. They could do anything else they want. They could be anywhere, but they're like, oh, let's hang out with you. That's always fun.
Yeah. And look, not always. Sometimes they're definitely too cool for school, but you know those moments. But I think it's that seeing them grow and develop. That's the really fulfilling part for me.
Yeah. So you, as CEO or as any high-level executive in the company, insane work hours. There's a lot you have to do, especially coming in as a new person. You already have so little free time. One of the things that you do that's on your LinkedIn that says you are on the chair of the Ronald McDonald House. Question.
Yes.
Why do you spend such little free time that you have doing stuff like that?
So for me,
Well, it's helping people.
what you do with your time is a choice, right? So I think I love what I do professionally. I really get into it. I love spending time with my family, but I'm also conscious that I lead a pretty privileged life. I'm lucky enough to have been born into a country, a family where certain things are just taken for granted, and that's not always the case, right? So the work I do with Ronald McDonald, that really fills my cup emotionally. I think there's a saying that really resonated with me that I heard a good few years ago. And I'm pretty sure the guy who said it, a guy called Nelson Henderson, I think he was a Canadian, and he said the true meaning of life is to plant trees under whose shade you don't expect to sit. So Ronald McDonald House Charities globally, and just celebrated its 50th birthday, shout out. They do amazing stuff, and it all came from Dr. Audrey Evans in Philadelphia, who was working in the hospital. There were families there whose children were sick, and the families didn't have anywhere to stay while the children were sick. They were sleeping on floors, they were sleeping in cars, and she knew, and she was the visionary behind the whole thing. She knew pretty quickly that when children are sick, if the families can be with them and help them through it, not only does it help the children get better faster, but actually it's better for the families. And so she actually worked with the local McDonald's. They bought a house, they built a house, and 50 years later, they're all over the world. So my work with them in New Zealand is about helping families whose children are sick be near them when they need to be. And there's a lot of need, there's a lot of stuff that we do, and we work with them. There's an amazing team of people. So that for me is just, I've got, I'm lucky enough to have some skills. I can contribute them in a way that, makes a difference outside, my professional life.
That's a good answer. I respect I love the quote, people who plant trees where whose shade they know they'll never sit in. That's actually one of my favorite quotes. That's a great one. So speaking of charity,
hey, I just noticed. Shout out to O'Milly. He printed out the I think that's the shirt comic cover that he made with Ben on the front of it. David, Dan, and Ben. That's funny. Shout out to O'Milly. If you guys haven't checked that out, I think it's the link in his bio over on X. It's a shirt he made for New York Comic Con. That's awesome. It says VVCon.
Years ago. It was after they did the.
He even got it like. That's funny. He had to go somewhere to get that printed.
Ron English helped with this, and there was an amazing think tank that helped with this also. So shout out to that think tank that gave the size of the mints of what we would get for the Operation Ukraine help Ukraine. We wound up donating about $750,000 to the Red Cross, and I asked him if VV would do any type of venture philanthropy where they wouldn't have to go in and do these drops for each and every disaster. And he said that they do have a charity arm that they've been working on. Can we get some updates on that? On what progress has been made and if anything they're going to roll out soon?
Yeah, so I haven't got an update on that, and I'll tell you why, and I'll tell you, I suppose, the different approach that we're going to be taking from now on. So,
different approach. All right, here we go.
Now, in these early days with the business of helping us as a company focus and prioritize on what we are going to deliver and what in the short term and what we'll deliver in the long term. And I think one of the things, you know, that we've done in the past as a startup business is we've sometimes confused the long-term aspirations with the short-term delivery, right? And that's where, you know, we're maturing as a business, and so my focus is going to be, okay, in the short to medium term, what are the things we're going to deliver, and what's the long-term aspiration that we work towards? So I think, you know, the charity arm is one of those long-term aspirations. Right now, our focus is in the short to medium term is on building out the VV platform, building out the audience, growing the appeal and the utility of the collectibles that we offer on it. So I don't have an update on that with you.
Good answer.
You know, I'm not here to make up timelines and things.
Yeah,
that's going to be a long-term aspiration for us.
Yeah, and for those of you that do not know, this morning we do have a VV app update, at least for Android. So go down to the Play Store, click VV, and then choose the update app. And then there's also an update for VV Comics that said they have a new partnership with ABLAZE. I haven't gone too deep into that, but they do.
Yes, and for anyone just tuning in, guys, we are going to be taking a look at ABLAZE after this interview. On top of that, the 24/7 Comics live stream with MC, and I think Ben also makes an appearance in that as well. So if you guys are just tuning in, we're going to be covering all of that. But what was it that I just wanted to mention here? What were they just saying?
You know, I'm not here to make up.
Oh yeah. I think that was a really good answer. I think if VV is closer to like a position of like Amazon, not exactly in the position of Amazon, but I'm talking about where they have like tens, hundreds of millions of dollars to just blow, then something like this would make a lot more sense. But I mean, right now our active user base is how many people? Is it even tens of thousands? I don't know what the actual number is, but it's definitely not high enough for I think VV to be considering doing something like this, like on a routine basis. A one-off thing every once in a while is cool, like the Ukraine project. Absolutely support that. I think they also just did one recently with, oh gosh, forgive me, St. Jude's Children's Hospital. That's what it was. And yeah, every once in a while, I'm all for it. But at the end of the day, they are a collecting platform.
That's going to be a long-term aspiration for us.
Yeah, and for those of you that do not know, this morning we do have a VV app update, at least for Android. So go down to the Play Store, click VV, and then choose the update app. And then there's also an update for VV Comics that said they have a new partnership with ABLAZE. I haven't gone too deep into that, but they do have some HP Lovecraft stuff, which is really cool. So I can't wait for that. Now, you have had, again, as new CEO, you kind of hit the ground running. You've been everywhere on a bunch of different channels. You come on my channel. You mentioned that there are going to be at least some roadmaps that you're not going to publish, but you have for yourself that you and the team are going to use. What are your biggest distractions that take away from what you do, that take away from work?
I mean, I'm kind of an all-in sort of guy, right? So, one.
You know what's interesting to me about his reaction there? Ben reacted like he didn't know that question was coming. And every single interview we've had so far, questions have been emailed ahead of time. So
that take away from what you do, that take away from work.
I mean, I'm kind of an all-in sort of guy, right?
Yeah,
So,
he looks like he did not see that coming.
One of the things about the VV team, this is an international business, and there's so much happening, right? So, this isn't kind of a 9 to 5 sort of role. So, it's a really difficult. I don't have an answer because I think this is the kind of role where you're always on, right? It's not a on and off kind of. Totally. And do you know what? That's part of the reason why I loved it. Why I kind of spoke to David and Dan about it.
Sven says distractions from work. LOL. He just needs to be focused now. Hey man, Randy's just making sure he's not getting too distracted with too many girls and stuff like that. I think it's important. We put our money into VV. We want to make sure he's not going around and partying.
You love it, yeah. I understand.
Like a Amir Singh over here, from what I hear.
They're like your children.
Rewind Collective guy.
You have to nurture them. You have to raise them. You have to do your chores.
Paul says he didn't. I spoke to Randy a little bit before begging him to not ask the same old scripted stuff, I'll say. We already heard he definitely made it out.
Totally.
Yeah, it's
and one of the things I think I've had a few questions from people.
I'm wondering maybe if it's a mix then, because maybe he did toss some questions in, but because it is live, I think maybe there are some things he's kind of asking off the top of his head. Because he also said I can't really give you an answer to that. It's like if you don't have an answer, then don't approve the question to begin with,
We're saying why did you go from from Binance to VV? And so the work ethic, that kind of speed of execution and ambition and dedication, that's really consistent across the two. I think for me, what I really found appealing about VV, first of all, it was David. I met David, and he's an impressive guy. He's done lots of cool stuff. He's doing lots of cool stuff, but also he's a good human. Like he's a good, ethical, quality human being, and I just connected with him on a personal level. But also, I just really like the ambition of where the company's going. And so when you're when you work at a big global corporate like Binance, there's some pros and there are some cons. The pros are you do big stuff and you get to learn a whole lot of different skill sets and work with really high profile partners and regulators and media and all that kind of stuff. One of the cons, and this is working in any corporate really, is you're a salaried individual, you're a cog in a big machine. With VV, and I've made the decision to come in not just as CEO but co-CEO and shareholder. I think this business has got amazing growth potential, and I want to be part of that. And so in buying into the business and taking an ownership stake of it, that's me saying, hey, look, I'm not just here to for the ride, to benefit from what you guys have done. I'm here to add value. And let's grow this thing together. So that's that you don't do that stuff with a 9 to 5 clock on clock off kind of mentality. So that's why I'm here, and that's what I love.
No, sir.
It's another thing I wanted to ask you about. In the gaming world, there's people like me that love every aspect of Pokemon gaming, from starting the game to catching your first Pokemon.
We're talking about gaming here, ladies and gents.
And then there's the other set of people that love the post game. They love catching the legendaries. They love breeding. They love doing all these things that you can't do at the beginning of the game. And it seems that in your career, you've seemed to essentially beat the game. You go to each job, you accomplish the missions that is set forth in front of you, go down that path, and then instead of doing like a post game, instead of doing taking it one step further, raising the Pokemon to level 100, what you do is you restart. You go up to another job, you go up to another career at another company. And you recently built up Binance Australia to over 1 million users, which is bananas. So to an outsider, it might look like you're taking a step down when you're going to VV, when it has...
I want to clarify that. He was GM of Binance New Zealand. He scaled it to it was like 300 plus customers. Team members were, I think it was 20. He said around 20. he ended up taking over Binance Australia because the person who was running it ended up leaving. But Binance Australia was much larger. They already had like an established user base. So by the time he took over Australia and Binance, between both countries, he was managing, I think it was around 1.5 million active users. So he helped Australia grow, but he didn't scale the business from, beginning to when he left. He did that with Binance.
1,000 monthly active users. So how do you see it? How do you explain that?
So when I started at Binance, with Binance New Zealand, I was employee number one. So it was me and a laptop.
There you go.
Going, okay, how the hell do we do this, right? How do you build a financial services company? How do you build a tech platform? What does that mean from a marketing, compliance, legal, all that stuff? And so startup. I love the challenge of startup. Then to do that, then to help out and go and take over the Australia team, which was existing before me, had some challenges that I worked with the team to kind of overcome and keep growing it. It's just the common thread between all of those is a challenge. It's hard stuff. I think in my life when I've worked on, started off my career in advertising, the accounts I loved working on were the ones where people would go, why would you do that? How do you make tires interesting? How do you make margarine interesting? But if there's a business challenge, it's fun. If you can look back and say, you know what, when I started in that role, the problem was X, and then when I left it, the solution was Y. That's pretty cool. Some of the jobs I've done in the past where the job is more, hey, this thing's awesome. Can you just look after it and not break it? I find that boring. That's not me. I'm not going to add value there.
See, I'd agree with that.
Yeah,
I agree.
For VV, I don't look at this as a step down in any way. This is a big step up. This is going from being GM of a small part of a global business to being co-CEO of a global business. And, all my previous roles for me have led to this point, but I just look at this as a genuinely as a real honor. Like there's a Maori word that I quite like, which is kaitiaki, which means a guardian. And for me, the CEO's role is being a guardian of the community, the business, the value, the proposition, all of those things. And so
he mentioned that in the video he got announced in.
It's a massive honor that Dan and Dave have, put that trust in me to say, look, we have built this thing over the years, blood, sweat, and tears. We've given everything to this.
I really hope Randy isn't drinking a beer while doing this. I hope he actually genuinely meant that was apple juice.
As a real privilege. And so, yeah, it's a massive step up for me, not the other way.
I also am happiest when I'm building something. Coasting is fine and it's fun. You get to do things that you wouldn't normally do, but building something is where I'm happiest as well. So since you've joined, what's changed about the company since your initial interview, since you've joined, and now? What have been the biggest changes that you've seen so far?
So before I came in, I was really clear with David and Dan about the sort of thing I would do coming in and where I thought I would add the value. I've moved pretty quickly from day one. So the real focus, I think, where I can add value to what the team have built already is helping them focus, prioritize, and be really, really clear about what we're going to do and how we're going to do it. So none of that stuff has been visible externally. It's all internal. And most of my job is internal with the team. But we are working through right now a very, very focused business plan, which aligns every single person and team in the business to very specific goals and outcomes. So where we've succeeded and over the years and grown, it's been through the ambition of our founders. And all startups, you need that energy and you need team members who are super broad, super passionate, and will just get stuck in and get stuff done. And we've done that. We're now at the point where we've got some battle scars, we've had some wins, we've had some not wins. Now we go, okay, now it's about how do we scale this business, and you scale through focus on execution. So the big changes have been internally with me,
skill and execution, right? It's the actions over words that he was talking about, but it comes down to two things. It's delivering the right product that has enough value, and then just marketing it to people so that people know of the product that has value. That's what it comes down to. If people are interested in what you have to offer, they're going to go elsewhere. So you create something with value and you promote that to people so that they're aware of it. That's really what it comes down to. And the VVverse is so crucial for that because it introduces so many different use cases now for the collectibles. So we go from a position of, hey, check out this app where you can augment the collectibles into AR and pop them into a vault scene, to that, plus this whole list of other things that you can now do with them inside of this virtual world that's pretty much, you know, yours to customize at your fingertips, right? So it's a big game changer. So hopefully they talk more about the VVverse in this one as well. But Paul says, spoiler, it isn't. Wait, it isn't apple juice or it isn't beer? Randy's gonna be Randy. VV Zombie says.
With our exec team, with our lead team.
Hey, I'm not trying to create
clear
bad blood with
about
anyone.
What the expectations look like. Being very clear that we're gonna move to a real high performance model, and understanding in depth what every single.
Now you got to respect the dedication, though.
Business is working on. So
I don't know how many videos are on his channel, but it's a lot.
That we meet our commitments, and we deliver stuff that's really gonna make a difference.
So speaking of the team, you give a lot of credit to the team. You said yesterday in Comics and Crypto's podcast that they released, he said that you have to give credit to the team. They're crazy intelligent. It seems to me that everyone has a couple different personalities. Like myself, there's one that you put on camera, there's one that you give to the people around you, and there's
it is an apple juice.
You tend to keep for yourself, that you don't really tell anyone, save for when you're
Paul
alone.
With all the insider info.
When you go and you talk about the team, how do you do, like, as a leader? Do you come in and be like, hey, I've worked for companies where it's do or die, and now you have to crack the whip? Do you go in and kind of leave them alone, be like, hey, you're really smart, you do this every day, you're better at this than me, I'm gonna let you do what you do?
Oh, he's explained this already.
Tell me about your leadership roles and how you take that.
So my view with leadership is it's all about clarity. All anyone wants is clarity. They don't want a micromanager, they don't want a best friend. They want to know, what should I be focusing on, and how am I going? How am I doing? So clarity is the absolute key. So I think of leadership in three different ways. Clarity is number one. So what does good look like? What is my role? How do I as an individual contribute to this? And how am I doing? That's the clarity side of things. Then there's capability. You know, do we have people with the right skill sets? Do they have the tools that they need to do what we're asking them to do? And then you've got motivation. Are they into it? Do they believe in it? Do they genuinely believe in the future that we're building? So my take on the team, you know, in detail now, and I've met with every single member of the team across all countries, across all teams now, one-on-one.
That's a lot of people.
Oh, wow.
Is that
So he's officially met with everyone, and there's like 300 plus people in the company. That's pretty cool. I'm assuming he didn't just start doing that. He's been doing it over the course of the past like 6 months, like ever since he's been looking into the community and stuff. But yeah, that's really cool.
We do not lack for smarts. We have got some really, really clever, smart, experienced, intelligent people with some amazing experience from other industries, aligned industries. We've got some very, very clever people. We've got in capability, I think we've got good core skills. There's probably a few that we could add in different parts of the business.
I'm not gonna lie, guys. I'm playing this back, and it's I'm getting deja vu. Like I've gotten deja vu like 3 times already. I swear he said that exact same thing in the last interview that I just recapped for our last episode. So, hey, for any of the content creators doing interviews with this guy, update your questions moving forward. That's all I gotta say. That's all I gotta say, man. If you have questions that's been answered, take them off the list, replace them. Feel like that benefits everyone. Luke said, "Sup? What's up? I saw this last night, plus the Comics and Crypto live." Yeah, we just recapped that for our last episode. Depending on what happens in this one, I may or may not recap this one. I don't know. Because right now, I don't think anything new's kind of really been mentioned. Luke's fight, Comics and Crypto, made me want to stack more comics. It's funny how when you watch content about something you're passionate about, and then all of a sudden you just want to like dive back into it. It's like you can play a video game for 6 hours straight, you're tired of it, and then you go onto YouTube and watch like gameplay, and you're like, I want to play the game again. Same thing with Vivi. Same thing, I swear.
Motivation, we certainly don't lack. The team believe in what we're building and what we've built, and in our community and in the future. I think where we've got the most opportunity is clarity.
What I can say, and what I'm really happy about so far, is I think aside from one question that's on my list, none of my questions have been asked so far. So I'm just praying to God they get approved, because if they get approved, we should have some we should have a good conversation here. But yeah, no questions that I want to ask have been asked so far in any interview.
Is just real focus.
The closest one has to do with the languages
on that kind of execution. And so, you'll see, you mentioned before some of the, the functionality that we continue to drop. And so dropping functionality and enhancements is something that we are always doing. We probably don't talk about it enough to let people know about what we're doing and why, and that's something we'll change. But that prioritization of what are the things that we're going to do is really, really important. What are the things we're going to do and why? And it might not be the stuff that we get asked for on X every day. Sometimes it will. Our real focus is growing digital collecting, getting into the traditional collectibles market and bringing people over into the digital world, not instead of, but as an making it more accessible, growing the attractiveness, the utility, what you can do with your collectibles. And there's a whole lot of other stuff too. So yeah, I think for me, where we're learning is on as maturing as a business and starting to get really focused on execution.
Thank you for that answer. In the past decade.
Whoa, I'm pausing it for this. We got Kryptoni in the chat. Welcome. And Kryptoni, I just found out last WebV that apparently you're coming to Vegas. So I don't know if it's news for you, but I should be there as well. So I hope I get to meet you, man. But thanks for stopping by. I almost missed this. Hey everyone, welcome.
Decade, Elon Musk has had tranches that he had to hit in order for him to be able to buy Tesla stock at a discount. You mentioned before that you came in not as
Wait, what? Wait, hang on, I missed that. We're talking about Elon Musk now?
Thank you for that answer. In the past decade, Elon Musk has had tranches that he had to hit in order for him to be able to buy Tesla stock at a discount. You mentioned before that you came in not as just co-CEO, but as also partial owner of Vivi. Can you go in and tell me what incentives you have, whether it be to have the amount of users go up, only to hit a certain price, or to be able to go and just have revenue come in with the same amount of users?
Yeah, so look, I'm not going to go into minute detail, but suffice it to say that I benefit if Vivi grows as a business and is more valuable.
Okay, you know what? I'm glad I didn't talk there for a sec, because I was about to say, like, why would you ask him about the details of his contract? But the fact that he actually just said that is really bullish. The CEO is incentivized for the company to do well. If the company does well, then he benefits. That's really good news. So I take back what I was about to say, but I guess I ended up saying it anyways. I'll def be in Vegas with free merch for Omi Army hat holders. There you go. There you go. Oh, you have another message. Comics and Crypto def put the stamp on Candy as DC comic IP holder. Big for Candy. Wait, what happened on Candy? I missed that. I didn't hear about that. I gotta look I gotta look into that.
So that's what it's all about. So when when you're incentivizing team members, you need to you want to align them with the right things. And so what's the right thing is to grow this business. We've got shareholders who have trusted us and put their capital into this business. We owe it to them to grow. We've got a community that has been so loyal to us through good times, bad times, and everything in between. We owe it to them to grow it. So for me, I'm not just here to do a 9 to 5 and kind of leave things as they are. I'm here to radically advance this business, and we've got the team to do it. We just need to be really clear on how we're going to do that and where we're going to play, and we're doing that right now.
So far, I've heard nothing negative. I don't think anyone would question your work ethic, but let's see where that goes. I just mentioned Elon. He had said before that the U.S. government, in the form of taxes, they take money away from people who are really good at capital allocation, and they give it to people who are not good at capital allocation. So as co-CEO of Vivi, where do you think the most important place to allocate the company's capital is?
Fantastic question. I'll repeat that again. Fantastic question. Kryptoni says, Comics and Crypto did a top 10 on DC that solidifies Candy as the digital comic store for DC. Oh, okay. Well, hey, if we got time, maybe we can check that out on stream as well. I didn't know that.
Well, there are two. I think.
But thank you for the info.
I think our product and the engineering side of our business.
I got to take
I
got to take a look at Candy just more in general. I don't have too much experience on that platform, but just because I'm not too involved with comics, but definitely good to know. I mean, there are no DC comics on Vivi, right? No, is that a wild question to ask? It's only Marvel, Tarzan, all the smaller independent guys, right?
Absolutely number one. But then there's marketing and growth, and you can't do one without the other.
Boom. Didn't we just say that earlier?
I think our product and the engineering side of our business is absolutely number one.
Oh, he almost says it literally how he said it.
But then there's marketing and growth, and
like product and marketing.
And you can't do one without the other. Build it and they will come. Only works in a movie with Kevin Costner. I think we've got to make sure that we've got the world's best digital collectibles platform, and we stay ahead of that, and we invest in R&D. But also we've got to make sure that we are playing a role in growing awareness of digital collecting.
100%.
So that takes investment in marketing and comms and all of those sorts of things. So I think there are two. And then of course there's all of the other things that are really important go into everything that defines.
Kryptoni says some grails over there. Got some good stuff. Been lucky on drops also. I think the only thing I have on that platform are some of the unless I'm getting it mixed up with another one, but they do like free collectibles every once in a while, right? Like they do the DC logo like spinning around. That's Palm, right? Superman, Wonder Woman, Wiz Comics, All-Star Comics, DC 27 is the big one everyone is waiting on. Yes, I remember when Superman 1 dropped. That was big. Did first appearance Batman drop? I think I asked that in another stream. Can't remember what the answer was. I think it was no, but that's another big one.
What we do, the product management, the design, the running the business. So it's all important, but I think the two pieces where it really the rubber hits the road is developing your platform and then promoting the proposition more broadly.
So again, product with value, generating awareness so people know of the product with value. We said it before, he now said it again. Let's go.
So there's been a
DC move from Palm to Candy, which was genius to me. Yeah, okay, so it is the platform I'm thinking of. That's that pretty much sums up my experience with Candy. Nothing against them, but
you mentioned before that one of your ways to grow is to get new users, and you've had, I think it's Comics and Crypto podcast, or maybe the O'Malley space. You've mentioned that one of the most important parts before you build out the development is the R in R&D, is in research. So
Yep.
network marketing is worth about $180 billion per year. Are referral codes part of your plan to grow users and tap into dormant content creators, or do you have a better plan to stimulate that growth?
Okay, so this is the referral program that Zombie was talking about earlier. Yes, Batman #1. Oh, it is minted. You minted the Epic. It's at a 199 floor. 199 floor? That's for the common, right? That seems super low. For first appearance Batman? Do you know what Superman's sitting at? Damn, dude, maybe I should dedicate a couple hours later and look into that platform more.
So yes is the answer. They absolutely are. So our marketing team are right now working through a number of different plans. That is absolutely there. I think if you think at a high level about us as a business, if your objective is to grow active users, there are two places that comes from. One is the large base of former and current customers that we have, and dormant customers. So what can we do to really activate that? What can we need to understand, why and how people have stopped engaging, where they were on their journeys, what we know about them from the data that we have, because we know, we do have a decent amount of data on individuals in terms of the collectibles they're interested in, the things they've looked at, the behaviors on the platform. And then there are those who are collectors in that 475.
Candy's def worth looking into, and Elmonix. Yeah, Elmonix. I love Elmonix, dude. I love what they're doing. They're doing some awesome stuff. Their store just launched not long ago as well. My Starry Night hoodie sold out. Let's go. But yeah, no, I'm a big fan of that team and project.
$1 billion industry collecting other stuff that might not have considered the tokenized version.
Elmonix. Another thing to add about them is they're really good at rewarding their collectors. I've noticed a lot of pieces even in the store that they dropped. A lot of the pieces were reserved for like current holders. So
we got to play in both of those places. So the data is at the heart of absolutely that, and we've got a great research team. We're doing some good work. I think we can do more there. But yeah, there's lots that we are doing right now to really understand both sides of the coin.
I'm so glad to hear you say that, because referral codes is what made Earth 2. That's what made them have the most successful Facebook marketing plan ever, where they they raised like $100 million with that. That is something that I think is going to behoove VV in a way that I don't think can be quantified right now. Now, I understand not talking about like
I'd agree with
techniques, about new users. You mentioned some things that you need to look at for old users to reignite them.
Tony says I have a nice collection on Elmonix. Nice. What's your favorite piece? You got the Mona Lisa, pieces like that, or?
But let's talk about licenses for a second.
Although look who I'm talking to.
I asked David,
look who I'm talking to, dude. The size of your VV collection's massive. You probably have a very nice collection on Elmonix.
And I asked him about those specific licenses, and he said that he was already working on them. So now that it's a few years later, which license from them are you most excited to see on VV?
Okay, I'm sorry guys, I was talking there. I got to back up just a little bit for that question.
And I asked him about those specific licenses, and he said that he was already working on them. So now that it's a few years later, which license from them are you most excited to see on VV?
I'm not going to talk about specific IPs, but I will tell you. I'll tell you exactly how it works.
Okay.
With David and I, and this is definitely to the benefit of the business and the community. So David's focus is on building the ongoing and future pipeline of licenses. So working with existing ones to broaden out the properties that we've got, and working with new publishers, new licenses. You know, you'll see some being announced in the short term, but there are ones that we're working on right now that won't be announced for a year or 2 years because there's a long route to go. So his focus is on that mid and long term. My focus is on the short and medium term.
Yeah.
So I'll give you an example is right now we've got the team over in New York getting ready for Comic-Con. David doesn't get on the plane back unless he's got new IPs signed up. They might not be launching tomorrow, but we'll start working on them. That's what we want him to be focusing on. That's what he's great at. That is where we want him to be for us as a business. And so yeah, that's exactly
funny.
what he's doing right now. My focus is on running the team and helping the business execute on that stuff in the short and medium term so that we build the runway to get there.
I didn't realize David had criteria.
Kryptoni says the only piece I haven't got is that Mona Lisa. The only piece you haven't got, of course. I have everything else of importance. Starry Night, Top Monet, etc. That's awesome. Yeah, some of their pieces are just, I mean, not only the significance behind some of them, but just the detail in AR. Like you can see like the brush strokes and everything on some of those paintings. It's crazy. VV Zombie says, I feel the problem with VV and current users slowing down the purchases is buyer exhaustion. One of the funniest things about VV is flipping into something else on the app. Dude, to be honest, I haven't been on the app enough lately to even kind of, well, to be able to speak on that. Buyer exhaustion, though. You mean just like buying something on a drop and just, if you don't get a good mint number, just immediately flipping it for something else? Is that what you're talking about? Because there has always been that happening on the platform where people will buy and then just immediately dump below retail. Kryptoni says their pieces are next level. They're a sleeping giant. Yeah. I think the team can go very far with that project. Definitely something I'm keeping my eye on. Cool. All right, let's keep it going.
For returning home.
If you guys are enjoying the stream, make sure to hit the thumbs up.
Correct.
So that's the other thing. Something I saw this morning. You had something like 2 weeks ago where you guys had a black penny drop, which I wish I could get into stamps. Like in an episode of Gilmore Girls.
Kryptoni, dude, I will be the first one to say that you are a collector. All right. You are a collector. Hey, you and I don't have to know each other that well. All I need to know is the size of your collection. I know it's a large. You are a collector, dude. You are 1000% a collector. If you're not a collector, then, I mean, damn. Makes me feel way worse about myself. Sven says, no, I think he means just wanting to buy is slowing down even if it is a good drop. Oh, yeah. Buyer exhaustion, meaning its current users don't have the funds to continue to buy without selling. It's hard to say. It's hard to say. I mean, there's no way to give like a yes or no on that. But in terms of what Sven said about how there's just less people going for drops or like, less motivation. I don't know if that's the right word, but I definitely was somebody back in the day where I went for every single drop. And now I'm very selective with what I go for. The last drop that I went for was, and I'll be very open with you guys, is the Mysterio, first appearance Mysterio comic. On drop at least, but before that, it was maybe like a handful, and then like Pink Panther, which is like quite a while ago now. So I'm very selective with what I get on drop now. But yeah, Sven, in terms of what you said, I agree. And there's a bunch of people in the Web V space that I've talked to that are kind of in the same boat. I know Osmond doesn't buy nearly as much anymore. But that I mean, him and I are both still really passionate about the platform, right? So depends on how you look at it, I guess. But Kryptoni says, I have people at NYC buying me merch and pins. Yeah, I saw your tweet saying you already sent the money out. All right, let's keep this going.
Lorelai talks to Christopher, and she says, like, "You're the man that I want to want." Spoiler: she doesn't end up with him, and I want to be.
Tony, what do you want from
Sam's,
what do you want from New
I
York
just
the
can't,
most?
so I wasn't expecting much from that.
Is it the KFC pin you're talking about, or do you want like the VV logos? Speaking of that KFC pin, I saw that they're actually dropping 2 variants. They're dropping the one they originally promoted, and then there's also a I don't know what they're naming it, but it's like a silver, like a platinum version.
But that's sold out, like $86,000.
I think there's 200 of them.
Minutes, and the drop was like a little messed up, and it still sold that out. That was really impressive.
Somebody says, could you do a video on Candy and Elmonix? Definitely some I can add onto the list. Absolutely. I will be honest and say that it won't be probably a priority just yet, just because of all the stuff happening in the VV community, and my audience is, well, pertains to VV. So I want to make sure that I kind of cater to the VV community first, and then whenever there's kind of like a bit of a lull, then I can definitely toss some content like that on the channel.
And then something like this, you had like a Wolverine comic today, and it's like a key comic. You know, there's no first appearances in there or anything, but it had sold like $2,500 worth.
Welcome, by the way.
Is there?
Sorry, I don't mean to be rude. I'm over here being rude. Jeez, welcome. I didn't even say hi. Thank you for stopping by. It's definitely a name I recognize, so I know it's not your first time here, but thank you for watching, spending some time with us on a Wednesday.
Any rule or any like Mason-Dixon line saying like, hey, a drop has to do this much, or else we don't do it anymore? And are you telling like David, like, hey, you have to sign an IP with this many users or this many followers, or that doesn't count?
So yeah, so the criteria that we have around IPs is, first prize is it's going to bring new audiences into digital collecting. So if we can do first time digital collectibles for this IP, that's amazing, because then that grows the overall space. We do look at metrics like their audiences, that the popularity. I think one of the areas I mentioned before that we need to mature at is use of data and analytics going forward, and that applies to our drops as well.
That's huge. They have so much data that you'll be using right now. 2 banger drops tomorrow. 1 on VV, first appearance of Sinister 6, and 1 on Candy, first appearance of Poison Ivy. Both key comics. I'm max minting both. First appearance Sinister 6. Yeah, I've been hearing some people talking about that. Should I go for it? I don't know too much about comics, so is this like a big book? Maybe I'll go for that one on drop.
Our drops and the.
I always like participating in the comic drops. I just, at this point, there's so many, so I never know which one to go for, but the larger comic drops, I always enjoy going for. If there's a chance to land a nice rarity from minting it on drop, pardon me, not having to buy in secondary, I'll do that. $7. Absolutely.
The mechanics and the IPs and the timing, and we're working on that. The team are working on that actively right now. I think where we saw the success with Stanley Gibbons, that was really exciting for us, because that is a first time that they've really played in that space as an organization. Like this, that's almost a 200-year-old organization. Those guys are the authority, and it was a big punt for them. They were blown away with the success of it, and we're going to be doing lots more with them. The reason why we were really excited about it, notwithstanding some of the issues around the drop, which again we learned from.
Oh, I know it's so unfortunate though that had to happen for that drop, just because the drop was dependent on or the physical was dependent on drop participation. But Kryptoni says this is a key, not a grail, but the physical sold for 98,000. Okay. Well, hey, I think that answers my question, because I think the Mysterio comic was less than that, and I went for that one, so. Worth the $10 in my opinion. Looks like I'm going for a comic drop then. Appreciate that.
The reason we're really excited about that is because there are so many categories in collecting that we haven't even scratched the surface of, and nobody has yet. You know, who would have thought that you could buy...
By the way, I don't know, I feel like I should probably just say this because it's a thought on my mind. Don't do what I just did. If you guys want to find out more about a collectible or comic, do your own research. It's just like, I want to participate in a drop and like have the, you know, drops are fun. So I haven't, like I said, I haven't participated in a comic drop in a little while. So that's kind of why I was just made that decision easy. But yeah, I'd recommend kind of looking into stuff a little bit more than what I just did with Kryptoni, but nothing against what he said. Sami, does Candy have an app? That's a good question. Oh, Kryptoni, dude. Appreciate the tip. Thank you. Does Candy have an app? That's a good question. I want to say web app only. I'm checking on my phone right now. I do have an Android though, so if it is on Apple, I don't know, but no, I'm not seeing anything pop up on my my phone. I think it's just web.
Digital collectibles, full stop at the very beginning.
Kryptoni says no, just web. Stream. Oh, he said good Steam.
And you say the same about stamps. You may say
I got you.
About sneakers, about cars, about watches. I mean, this is an industry that is ripe for disruption. And just look at that drop. There is appetite out there. So, yeah, we have got
the Penny Black was such a cool collaboration. Such a cool drop.
We want to play in, which IPs we want to speak to, and those are, yeah, I won't release them because, you know, there's others in the markets trying to do similar things. But, you know, the sorts of things we look at are, okay, what's the audience profile of this
I almost get the sense that what they're going to do with Stanley Gibbons is kind of what they did with Marvel Comics when they first started, where, if you guys remember, they started with Marvel Comics #1, then they did Fantastic Four #1, and then ASM #1. No, sorry, I have that wrong. They did Marvel Comics #1, Journey into Mystery #85, and then Fantastic Four #1. These are 3 really big comics, right? Very first Marvel comic, you have first appearance of Thor, and then first appearance of Fantastic Four. If you guys watched our video on Stanley Gibbons, there's a tab on their website that goes through like iconic stamps. And the first one that they highlight is the Penny Black, most significant. But then they also highlight, I think it's like 6 or 7 others. I think we may potentially go down that list. And I think they may release some of the most significant stamps like to start off with, like back to back. That's my feeling. I hope they kind of go that route. Just because then, you know, collectors who are on the platform right now kind of get rewarded in a sense a little bit. But yeah, there's some other really cool iconic stamps they highlight on the website as well. So,
IP, what countries are they?
Penny Black didn't work for me. Whole app crashed for 30 minutes. Yeah, it was the same for me. I ended up buying one, and then it said the transaction failed, and I got kicked out for like an hour and a half. And when I came back on, it said I had one in my collection, so it ended up going through. I just didn't have that opportunity to keep buying. And I know some people were in the community buying, like, I think Brock said he bought 100. He stopped at 100. He could have he could have got more. So little unfortunate, like Ben said, they learn from their mistakes, but yeah, it's just unfortunate that it had to happen with a drop that significant. But we got OBL in the chat. What up? What's the crack, family? Absolutely blown away by Ben's character and integrity. Unreal addition to the team. Definitely feels like he's going to make some huge waves in the next year. Yeah, I get the same feeling. He's got the bullet chambered. He's ready to shoot. Question is he holding a handgun, a shotgun, sniper? What is it? Rocket launcher? Come on. Shoot down like a wall or something. We don't need some like paintball gun here. Kryptoni, Sami. Wop, what up? Got lucky minted the 41 common penny black. There you go. Was 41 the first public mint? I can't remember. Either way, that's a low mint, so congrats. Hell of a drop to mint that one on.
They prevalent in is that a big step or a small step from our current base? And
you got the king of trolling in the chat, Notorious himself. You got a water gun, old school super soaker.
therefore it's going to be credible for us to market to them.
Maybe think of the Nerf guns, the Nerf gun fights.
What's the opportunity, and what are also the commercial terms? So the commercial terms that we negotiate with licensors are absolutely crucial to building a sustainable business and relationship. So those are all the things that we think about.
First public mint. Congratulations again. That's awesome. Tommy says, but why didn't they use VB as a platform to start with? Because Marvel Comics are on there? Oh, you're talking about DC. Yeah, that's a tough one. I don't know. I know DC at first was kind of like all over the place as well, though. Like they were kind of giving their IP to different platforms. I mean, look at the first series on VV, right? Batman Black and White, DC. So
coming in at, again, you've obviously hit the ground running. Coming into a new company, especially one.
Okay. I'm sorry, guys. I'm pausing this so much. I gotta say this, dude. WAP says I've sold multiple first edition Super Soakers for close to $100 from the 1990s. Last thing I was expecting. But hey, man, congratulations again, I guess. That's funny. True collector. True collector. Did Ben talk about Omi yet? Not yet. I don't really expect him to talk about Omi because he's representing Vivi, and I know that they're very I don't work for Akomi, I work for Vivi and vice versa things, so
Well, like to quote Deadpool in Deadpool 3 when he's talking to Wolverine, says, "Welcome to the MCU. You're coming in at a bit of a low point." There's some things that have to be a little daunting and scary. What have been the biggest challenges that you've overcome, and how is that going to help you in Vivi's challenges that they have?
So look, it's really early days, right? I don't think it's appropriate for me to say I've overcome challenges because I've only just started, right?
Well,
I think,
in previous jobs, you've overcome tremendous challenges. Again, you don't get to the number one employee at Binance Australia and New Zealand without overcoming certain challenges.
so I think the approach that I've found has worked for me professionally has always been, if there's something tough, be the one to put your hand up and have a crack at it. Just grasp the nettle. So that I've found has always led to opportunities, exciting things, and I've always found that kind of invigorating and exciting. So I love taking those roles where you take them, you announce them, and your mates go, "What are you doing? Why are you doing that?" And then a couple of years later, they go, "Oh, that's why." So there was a time when I worked at a New Zealand media publisher, which had a declining print portfolio, newspapers, and the job was slow down the decline in the revenue side of that business so that we can grow the digital side of the business. So went from doing innovation and other digital chatbots and insurance and other stuff, and became the GM of print. So a lot of my mates went, "What are you doing?" And actually, that was an amazing role where it was a commercial role, and we ended up halving the decline. We added tens of millions of dollars onto the bottom line, worked closely with advertisers, worked with sales teams. It was awesome. It was an amazing job. Binance, kind of similar, right? When I got into Binance,
Kryptoni says, I would love to see a VV Candy comic collab. Maybe start with adding the Candy comics to the VV comic web app. You know, dude, it's interesting you bring that up because I'm working on a video talking about how Vivi's kind of creating their own ecosystem right now. Like, we just had the other comic publisher get announced, and you know, in due time, there's going to be a full network of smaller independent publishers that you can say are all on Vivi. So I think it's really interesting, you know, that whole route that Vivi's going. I'll save that for the episode, but I don't think that's too far-fetched what you said there, because if you look on the brands tab, you already see things like Elmonix, or brands like Elmonix. So, you know, the team says, what is it? A rising tide lifts all boats, or whatever. I think in this case, because yeah, Candy's involved in the Web3 space and blockchain, then, you know, it'd be the same case there. But what's interesting too, because that reminds me, is that they were talking about Fortnite, and I think in the Comics and Crypto podcast or interview, they talked about how, you know, they talked about the word competition, and they actually use like Roblox and Fortnite as examples. And in my opinion, I think that in those cases, a platform like Roblox or Fortnite would be competition. It's not a case of a rising ship or a rising tide lifts all boats, because, you know, if you have, let's say, a 3D model of Black Panther, right? One is a digital asset, like an avatar that you can use inside Fortnite. You can emote, you can join people's games, play in different worlds, do all this stuff with. And then you have a 3D model of Black Panther, but it's a digital collectible on Vivi, right? Without someone diving into the tech behind those two things, they're going to go, okay, hang on a sec. Both of these are the same thing, but the one on Fortnite I can do more with. And so in that case, Fortnite is now taking somebody away from the Web3 space. So that is a competitor. So I think that's another really interesting topic that, I mean, hopefully somebody could potentially dive into with Ben later. But yeah, I think that platforms like Fortnite, competition, right? If they're not utilizing blockchain, because they're taking people away from the tech that they could be using, right? But if you were to implement a partner with a platform like Candy to have comics on Vivi, then it would be kind of like an opposite scenario, if that makes sense. I hope that makes sense. I hope I was clear there. Tony says they would have to accept each other's formats or display the artwork needed for the platform that's used. It could work. Yeah, I mean, given all the partnerships that Vivi has, I mean, I would not be surprised if they can make something like that work. I mean, there's so many different conditions they have with so many different other companies. But does Candy have AR? I can't answer that either. I want to say no. They have panel-to-panel reading, though. I know that's cool. Cool. All right, let's keep this going. Sorry for the rambling.
What are you doing going into crypto? You know, have you not read the news? And I believe in it. I believe in blockchain. I believe in crypto. And I saw, you know, here's the disruption of the financial services industry, and it's all about, you know, it's all about self-sovereignty. It's all about peer-to-peer. I love the innovation. I love the disruption. And, you know, fast forward and all of a sudden, you know, we've got Bitcoin ETFs and ETH ETFs, and, you know, the NBC News is running tickers with the price of top 10 coins. All of a sudden it's mainstream and people go, oh, I see, I get it. So that's the stuff I love. And so yeah, when I you know announced I was going to Vivi, a lot of people said, have you not read about NFTs? And I go, yeah, but just you wait and see. You wait and see, because we know, you know, Randy, and I know, and viewers of this know what drives collectors.
You know what's so funny is that what he just said right here is exactly what's happening on Off the Grid, a game that we started the stream with. Because you have a super big YouTuber like Ninja, 20 million plus subscribers, who's already inside the game. You can use them as an avatar. That's helping bring people who have never been involved in blockchain or crypto over to the game. But on top of that, they don't even need to get involved with blockchain or crypto because of how easy it is to get involved. So it's moments like this where all of a sudden we're going to see millions of people playing a game. People who have never heard of the title are going to go, hey, what is my favorite YouTuber playing right now? And then stuff like this starts to become, mainstream, right? And then the next title comes out from another studio implementing the same tech, but it's some other, newer, better game that people are, it's the next new shiny thing. And people jump from, this to that, and a couple cycles of that. Next thing you know, it's mainstream. So
we know that this is a massive industry, and we know that the technology that we use on the platform, we know why it works, and we know why it's relevant, and we know the proposition that it drives, and we know
them all.
Right? So they'll see, they'll get it.
They will. I mentioned that this was, could be a little daunting and scary. We're in spooky month. We're in October. It is spooky season. We have the universal license. Give me my Nosferatu. Give me my Mummy. Give me my Frankenstein. Give me first off, what's your favorite monster? What is your favorite monster? What's your
Kryptoni says, I have a full Golden Moment set with a low mint Walt in the first season black and white Batman set with Todd and Rizzo. I also have the full brown suit Wolverine set. Dude. Oh, Lord. That's, I'm saying oh, Lord, in a good way. In a good way. Completing the full Golden Moment set, I think long term that's going to be, it's going to be, what's the word I'm looking for? People are going to pay attention to that set. First, technically Disney set on the platform, with the Disney branding, I guess Spider-Man was, but and then the black and white Batman. I mean, Todd being the first one, but Rizzo, that was a hard collectible to get back in the day. It still kind of is, I guess, depending on your how much money you can spend, but that's a hell of a collectible to have in your collection as well. Shout out to anyone with those. How many Rizzos are there? It's like 1,700, right? 1,750, I think.
Or is it something with the Cryptkins? Is it a license that we don't have? Tell me what scares you.
I love Slimer. I just love Slimer.
Slimer. He's a big Ghostbusters fan.
Cutest thing. I love Slimer. He's got to be my favorite. He's got to be my favorite.
Okay, that's cool.
Fun fact: the Slimer was originally supposed to be called the Onion. If you guys didn't know that, it's supposed to be called the Onion. I like the Slimer way better.
Cool. I like
the
that.
Onion. Who calls? It's such a stupid name.
Do we still have the license for Universal?
Yeah, we do.
Okay. All right. Can I get a meeting with them on how they can maximize their stuff and why they should?
All right, Randy. This is exactly why you don't drink beer during an interview.
Pay to be the next drop, because it's spooky season, and I want to tell them that they're hecking up here, and they need to give us the spooky monsters so we can collect them.
We can talk off camera.
Okay, copy that.
We can talk off camera.
My collectible said that you might have an hour here. Is that true, or can we go a little longer? I know you're extremely busy.
That is true.
Okay.
One of the things I'm really bad at is building spaces into my diary. So I am like a hard stop in 17 minutes.
Okay, so we'll actually stop in
I respect that.
12 minutes, so that this way I have a couple minutes to talk to you off camera. Okay, you mentioned you were the #1 employee over at Binance. Vivi beat you guys while you were at Binance to the Blackpink license. How does that make you feel?
Stoked to be at Vivi.
Were you handcuffed at Binance? Be like, hey, I want to offer this to Blackpink, but Binance said no? Or is it something that just David won?
No, look, I can't talk about that stuff. And also, it was way above my pay grade, right? I was just
way above your pay grade. Oh, he's talking about a Binance. Okay. Kryptoni says, I always wanted a Rizzo. I had to buy it. Oh, it dropped to 700. It's now back at 1.2K. Almost missed it. Yeah, that's a hell of a collectible. I don't have one personally, but Tommy says, yeah, I love a Rizzo. if I'm not mistaken, I want to say Rizzo was the first physical black and white collectible. I might be wrong about that. I don't know if someone wants to search that, but I did a video on that before, and that point's coming to mind. I think it was the first black and white physical collectible in the series.
Incredible accomplishment. But their best, I think, was what they've done with the gold and silver logo. Now, do you have one? And what should be the criteria for getting one? Because there's like 20 left, 30 left, give or take. There's not a lot left.
Yeah, no, I don't have one. They're for the community. They're for the community, and they have to be earned. So, yeah, look, I'm not going to publish criteria either, because you know there's 20 left, right? But I think I love the gold and silver logo, the ethos behind it, because we've got, you know, as you know, we've got an amazing community. We have also got an amazing hardcore of, you know, level 100s and those who are getting there as well, who publicly and privately contribute so much to the community. And I'm not just talking about, you know, like buying on drops. I mean, the ideas, the support, the feedback that we get. It is a big part of defining this business, and so I think it is absolutely right that they're.
Oh my! I hit my mute button on my mic again with my elbow. I keep doing it. I'm not doing it on purpose, by the way. I don't know what was the last thing you guys heard me say, but I hope it was not long ago. We got Notorious saying I have 10 kills in 40 matches on Off the Grid. It's hard. Yeah, dude. It's same thing for me. It is a very difficult game. I will say that. I think the game's unique. It's got cool features. I think the map looks awesome. I think there's actually a little bit too much in the map. I actually have trouble like spotting people from time to time, but one thing that I'm noticing with the game is that the movement is a little restricted. Like, it's not like a Fortnite where you can just jump around and pick stuff up super fast. Like, when you open up a crate, you gotta kind of sit there and pick through what you want. You can't just spam your pickup button and it picks up everything. So I think they gotta work on that. But if movement gets better in the game, then I think that game has fantastic potential. But dude, what are you playing on? You're on PS5, I think, right? There's no crossplay yet, but we'll have to link up when they drop the full game. Sven says I'm actually playing it now. But it gets a bit boring fast, to be honest. Hope the battle royale is better. It's yeah, I guess it depends on what you're doing, but I find, I don't know if it's just me, I find that it's hard to kind of spot people. There's so much in the map. There's so much in the map. So, you know, yeah, PS5 acknowledged
in some way, and I love the fact that the logos have real world utility as well, which, as you know, is
we'll probably end the stream in that game. We'll run a couple games.
You mentioned in the
we got some other interviews to recap first,
they
though.
Posted yesterday that, again, the team was incredibly talented, and you're very impressed by them. Does this mean that,
if you guys can't tell, I am trying to get better at doing longer streams now. So I think last week we did 2 6-hour plus streams, which did a number on my voice, by the way. I felt like I was sick for 2 weeks, but I'm doing it because I really want to prepare for the VVverse, where like I'm at a point where if I do get an email for, hey, you can log in, I'm clicking the go live button, and we're going to be live for quite a bit. So all I ask is that when we get access to the VVverse, you guys click on my channel. That's all I ask. That's all I ask.
that there's no room to hire anyone from like a FANG company, or are those hires being considered in conjunction with the talent that we have?
Kryptoni says, "Oh, millionaire." Shout out to Non-Fungible Wonderful. That song's so good.
Now.
So no, just because the team are awesome doesn't mean.
Zombie says Todd was the first black and white on Vivi. Yeah, so Todd was the first black and white on Vivi. If I'm not mistaken, though, I'm pretty sure Rizzo was the first physical black and white, because the ones on Vivi are modeled after the physical collection, right? So I think there's 100 in the physical collection. And David also mentioned that there's only a few number of collectors that actually have like the full series. But I'm pretty sure Rizzo was the first physical. Does someone want to correct me on that?
I mean, we're not going to be hiring other people. So I think, you know, my
Oh, you almost lost your Omi on Bit4x, dude. Sheesh.
focus for the business.
Yeah, be careful.
With David and with Dan and the
Take your stuff off exchanges, people.
Is on this being a really high performing, disruptive business. And so, yeah, we need the best talent in here. We've got great talent. Are there areas where we could add? Absolutely. So yeah, we certainly will be. But you know, I think you gotta build.
Todd McFarlane Batman is the first NFT ever minted on VV, first DC NFT ever, and first Batman NFT on the platform ever. Yes, sir. Yes, sir. And yes, sir. Also confirmed by Todd McFarlane. I can't remember if it was himself. I need a drink here. Or if it was somebody who worked for McFarlane Digital. But that did get confirmed by their side as well. So, but if you didn't know, now you do.
So yeah. Right now, our focus is on making what we've got work really well, making sure we've got the right people in the right seats doing the right things, and where there are capability gaps and skill sets, we'll fill them totally.
Okay, so David has a one-way ticket to New York City. So he has a card from the Vice President of the United States, from Kamala Harris, future president hopeful.
Oh God!
What?
Oh God! I'm getting nervous with this one. I'm getting nervous with this one, people. That's not a name I want to hear right now.
Other political connections do you suspect that he has?
Absolutely no comment.
Yeah, okay, I'm not surprised with that one. I am not surprised with that one. Ben, you're a smart man. Ben, you're a smart man. Just keep politics out of it. Politics, religion, that's like a rule that goes way back. Don't talk about religion and politics, just keep it out.
Okay.
It feels to me this might not be a good time to have a political conversation right now.
Yeah, no kidding.
I'll leave that
Jeez.
to you guys for the next month or so.
We will speculate after this is over later on tonight. Okay, so in an update you did with My Collectibles, you mentioned that you've been in crypto for 5 to 6 years. Now, outside of Omi, what else makes up for...
Who was it that was saying the questions, or that was talking about the questions at the beginning of this? Was it Paul? Paul, dude, I don't know if you're still watching, but I'm thinking about your comment right now.
Your portfolio. Do you follow the Kathy Woods thing where everyone should have at least 1% of your portfolio in Bitcoin, or do you happen to have just everything's completely diversified, or do you have like all your eggs into one basket?
So yeah, so I'll give you some information. I'm not going to talk in detail, and the reason is because I don't want it to be seen as, you know, recommendation or financial advice.
Yeah.
So I do my own research. I have a small allocation, and it's reasonably well diversified. But I've got some.
Ben is navigating a minefield, and he has not stepped on any mines. He's good at it. He's good at it.
Got some favorites in there.
The small allocation is in crypto in general, or is it a specific token? Okay.
Bit of both. Yeah.
All right. There's a, I forget the guy's name. The show is from Hell on Wheels. He says it's like one of the last seasons, like only a fool doesn't diversify. And
hey, we got Paul still in the chat. Let's go.
I myself am more of an eggs in one basket kind of person. I know we don't have a ton of time left. All right. So in an update on the VV app, this was 2 years ago on the VV app. This is before your time. VV included
before
ESPN and National Geographic in their Disney Parks, Experiences, and Product tab. Which one of those comes first?
Wait, Disney.
ESPN and that is before on the VV app. This was ESPN app is before your time. VV included ESPN and National Geographic in their Disney Parks, Experiences, and Product tab. Which one of those comes first?
I don't ever remember seeing ESPN on VV. When was this? VV used to promote ESPN, National Geographic. Do we have any OGs here? When was this? He's talking about the park experiences tab. So that's the park posters, which have been on the platform for a little bit now, but I don't ever remember seeing ESPN or National Geographic or anything. It would make sense though, because Disney owns them. I mean, there are separate tabs on Disney Plus for anyone who has that subscription, but yeah, I don't ever remember seeing those logos.
Hey, I don't have a view on that at the moment. I'm
Okay.
I'm a month in, so yeah,
I'm curious though if he actually meant to say Vivi there, the Vivi app, or if he meant Disney Plus. Because if Vivi had ESPN, that logo on the platform back in the day, that's cool to know.
I won't make up an answer. I'll just I'll let you know.
Okay.
I don't know.
Copy that. So again, we have a couple minutes left. There is a question from the audience, Turtle, saying, what is the competitive advantage for Vivi to remain headquartered in New Zealand? Very good question, if I say so myself.
So we don't.
Paul says it used to be on the licenses that they had a long time ago. It was under the brand page on the app. Really? I don't know how I missed that. Does anyone know how long those logos were on the app for? Was this like just like a day or two, or was this like over a period of time? Interesting.
I really think of it as headquarter, to be honest. So about half of our staff are in this part of the world, and the others are split between US, Asia. So I think that the one advantage of having a number of executives in the same place, wherever it might be, is the ability to physically get together and work through gnarly issues. But we're a distributed business, so yeah, I mean, we don't really think of it as a strategic advantage. It just happens to be where our founders are based. Most of the activity we do would be in other markets.
Okay. So there has currently been in the VV job section, if you go on like LinkedIn or the internet, you guys are not currently hiring anywhere. Where is the next place that you guys are looking to grow?
So I'm not going to let you know just yet because we're working on it. What we're working through internally is, I said before, a really focused execution plan. And so over the next not very long, we'll have some real clarity on where we might need additional resource and where the gaps might be. So
you know what's surprising me? What's surprised me the most so far, I'd probably say, is that people are not asking questions about the Viviverse. And I'm like, why not? I mean, this guy's in charge of scaling. Guy's in charge of growing the company, in a large pillar of Vivi. And in a large part of growing the business to that next level is the Viviverse. So, I mean, something as simple as like, what's your vision for the Viviverse? I don't know. Is that just me? I'm surprised.
So I think what's really important when you come in new to a place, you certainly don't have the answers. You need to listen and learn and understand. So we right now we're assessing exactly who we've got, what we're doing, and then we can be really, really focused on where we might need to uplift or add.
Okay, I understand 100%. Last question: what is love? How do you define it?
All right, that concludes this interview. We're going to be going over to, let's do, well, here, let me know in the chat, guys. You guys want to do the 24/7 comics with MC and Ben, or do you guys want to take a look at the new publisher first? Let me know. Let me know. Let me know. Drop it in the chat right now. Def should have had some Viviverse questions. Yeah. For sure. I never saw anything about ESPN or National Geographic. Right there with you, Zombie. Yeah, it's the first time I'm hearing of it. Let me know, guys. You guys want the new publisher or my collectibles interview? First come, first serve. First comment I see, I'm choosing. Let me know in the chat. Let me know in the chat. Where's VV? Yeah, here's the pin I was talking about. Here's that second pin. Secret rare 200. I will call them back later. Kryptoni, oh geez, dude. I read the comment, not repeating it. Do the new partnership. Kryptoni says, I love my collectibles. All right, so let's briefly skim through this this website for the new partnership, and then we'll move over to 24/7 Comics. Why don't we do that? I think it was VV Comics that posted it. Yes, ABLAZE. All right, so we're ecstatic to welcome ABLAZE to VV Comics. So it doesn't sound like their comics are going to be dropping on the main app. ABLAZE is the second publisher to join us following the launch of VV Comics earlier this year. Their diverse comics span various genres, including horror, fantasy, action, and adventure, and will be available on VV Comics in the coming weeks. Stay tuned. Kryptoni says, do you discuss Superstar Money? What about them? Like, do I watch their video? Yeah, I watch their videos and stuff. Notorious is Superstar Money. Makes me laugh because I always see you guys going back and forth. The moment their name's mentioned, Notorious is like, Superstar Money? Huh? Huh? Davey said, Randy didn't take questions from the audience. Only one person got to ask something. Yeah, I think that's how all the interviews are going to go. Okay, so in terms of ABLAZE sounds very similar to a 24/7 Comics, where they work very closely with the artist behind each book. But I'm not recognizing like any of these names. They have a lot as well, by the way. 185 products. Their website, funny enough, is actually a Shopify website. So this is like their main site. But yeah, it's ran through Shopify. ABLAZE is a publishing company releasing a variety of titles in different formats, genres, and age ranges, including original, crowdfunded titles, reprints, art books, international titles from Europe, Asia, webtoons, and more. Eisner-nominated publisher of comics, graphic novels, and more. Cool. All titles. Why don't we do that? Zombie says that leaves good questions for you to ask. See, Sven? See? Zombie gets it. Zombie gets it. Sven, I don't know if you're still in the chat. That's exactly why I want to be like 4th or 5th here. Let all the easy questions be weeded out. But yeah, they have like a full range of stuff. Hardcover and digital as well. I'm not going to go through all of them, of course, but just scrolling through, I don't know if you guys, there's some hardcovers. I don't know if you guys recognize any of these. But I was saying I'm happy to see any new comics come to the platform. We're now gonna have these guys. We're gonna have 24/7 Comics. We got Marvel. We got Edgar Rice Burroughs, and then why do I feel like I'm missing one? Am I missing one? Or did I get them all? Sven dropped a little LOL confirming he's still in the chat. Damn right. There you go. Can you preview any of these comics? I don't know if you can. Preview. $28. The heck? No, you can't. The Shopify website. What am I saying? But yeah, guys, that's I'm gonna do a full video on these guys for tomorrow, actually. So if you guys do want to tune in for that, I am gonna kind of recap all the key details in a shorter format. So I'll drop that for tomorrow. But that is the new publisher coming to Vivi, ABLAZE. They're based in Portland, Oregon, I believe. Portland, Oregon, I think. Yeah, Portland, Oregon. So cool to see. Now what we're going to do is let's head over to... Where's the interview? We got MC. We have Sean from Comics and Crypto. And then I also saw a clip of Ben in this. So I think he makes an appearance. How do I get to this? Join us. Oh, here. Okay, so I'm not going to watch the full hour, of course, but I do want to watch... let's watch the familiar faces here.
A lot about digital and physical.
Carl Choi is also one of the guys behind Evermind. I can't remember his exact title, but he created Evermind with Daniel Wu.
And I feel like one of the coolest things about one of our favorite platforms, Vivi, is, you know, they were...
Kryptoni, dude, I appreciate you. Thank you so much. Thanks again for a little tip there. And yeah, thanks for sharing the space. It goes a long way.
really intentional about introducing a lot of the traditional comics first in the...
Oh, backdoor, dude. I'm sorry, I missed your comment. Vivi Discord will be having a special guest tomorrow. An audience can ask questions. Ooh. Who could that special guest be? I wonder. Thanks for the heads up, man. I didn't know that.
Digital sense. So can you tell us a little bit about that history and how that foundation started? And over the course of the last 4 or 5 years, I see you guys at New York Comic Con every year. How have you seen now the traditional and the non-traditional come together?
Yeah, I mean, I think it's been really cool over the last few years. I mean, I kind of going back to you had a couple questions there, but the first question, like the history, you know, I mean, so yeah, VV started dropping, you know, Marvel IP back in Marvel, let me see, was it August 2021? August 2021, there we go, with the addition of Star Wars, or sorry, with, my brain is not working the way it should be today. With the addition of Spider-Man to the app, which is super exciting. So that was, you know, first appearance of Marvel, first appearance of Spider-Man. And then, you know, basically just a month later, we saw Marvel Comics 1 hit the app, which is, you know, the first ever digital comic that was released by Marvel, you know, as an NFT. Obviously, they had digital comics before on Comixology and all that, but it was really, really momentous, you know, because it's, you know, licensed IP, you know, provided by Marvel. So, you know, that was really the first time we saw, you know, comic collectors really move into the digital space in the sense of having like true ownership of their collectibles. So, you know, from there, you know, I think, you know, the Comic-Cons, you know, during that time were a little different because it was like full on bull market and everyone was like, just like hyped out of their minds about everything. And, you know, now it's kind of, it's calmed down in a way, in a really good way, I think, in that, you know, it's really like a core community of people who are really here for the collecting and really care about, you know, really like just in general comics and collectibles and, you know, just the fandom in general. Whereas I think before there was definitely a lot more speculators in the market. So I think that's like definitely one of the ways the Comic-Cons has changed. But
never even checked.
I mean,
Does Ben come in this
time though? I mean, VB has been really consistent.
Oh yeah, right here.
Doing really cool things at Comic-Con and you know, sharing the booth with Marvel for, you know, a couple years and really only just this year starting to move off and doing their own independent thing and having their own booth, which I think is a really cool thing in and of itself because it, you know, allows them the freedom to do things with people like you, Carl, with 24/7 Comics, and with Addiction, and with some of these other indie comic creators that maybe didn't really get a voice before in the digital space, and were given a really cool platform through VV and through Comic-Con. So yeah, that's my 2 cents. I don't know what you got to say, Sean, but
yeah, no, you summed it up perfectly, and we were super excited to see VV collaborate with other publishers. And we've known you for a couple of years now, Carl, and 24/7 Comics. And,
I'm fly.
and we were so pumped when we found out you guys are going to be collaborating, and it's so cool to see 2 comics get dropped in New York Comic Con and a digital collectible as well. So we're excited, and it's been really fun to see a lot of new collectors come to the app. People who never really collected in their lives, and now they're going to Comic-Con events, they're going to comic shops, and they're doing all this, and it all started in the digital space. So it's really cool to see that.
It's awesome. Before we bring Aaron and Ben up here to talk about what we are dropping for New York Comic Con, I know both of you guys are hardcore collectors, but I gotta ask, I wasn't tracking with VV early on, but has VV ever done Weapon X yet? Because that's one of the biggest titles that Terry helped put together. He was the man who put Barry Windsor-Smith on Weapon X. So
good timing.
How did that perform, and what does that drop like?
Let's put it this way. I wrangled Barry Windsor-Smith. That's a better way to put it.
Oh, we're so excited for that. Yeah, they're dropping the collectible during New York Comic Con. They've dropped a couple different variations of Wolverine, but this is the first time we're going to see Weapon X.
Wait, Weapon X is coming for this New York Comic?
Yeah, during New York Comic Con. Yeah.
Oh shit! I thought it happened already.
Oh no, it's during New York Comic Con. Yeah, they just announced it. So
dude, Terry, they should have you there at the booth, dude.
Yeah,
like,
that'd be awesome. That'd be so.
I'll come by the booth if you guys want me. I'll happily come by.
Yeah, we would love to have you.
Yeah, just let's work that out. I'll figure out a day to come by. You let me know.
Yeah, big surprise. Hey guys, thanks for bringing this up. Our co-CEO Ben Rose is right over here. He can talk about what we're doing and everything. But yeah, we have Weapon X, the collectible, the 3D collectible coming, and we just announced it. And yeah, it looks amazing. So that's super exciting. But
oh my God, you guys have this man to thank, man. He's been responsible for some of the greatest Marvel titles, including Weapon X, Namor with Jay Lee. So man, like you guys need to connect and have him there representing, man. That's gonna be huge.
If it ain't raining, Weapon X is on VV now. It drops on the 19th. So you can see it on the app, but it hasn't dropped yet.
A little while, so I'm getting back in, and it
looks fantastic though.
Carl and 24/7, I'm starting to get a better understanding of in what direction this evolution has happened.
Sean was making a really good point. So digital collecting, we're seeing people come into collecting for the first time.
Hopefully audio is good, guys. I gotta turn it down just a little bit because I'm blowing my ears out here. I'm gonna give myself a headache, and we got to stream for
digitally, and then
quite a bit longer.
Start to expand into physical and the other way too. It's a pretty exciting time with people going kind of both ways.
Yeah, that's kind of my history. Like my history, and of course, Sean, you guys know, right? We've talked a lot. My history is I own my own comic book shop, in the mid 2000s, and I came from the physical collecting world and got into the digital side of things through that way. And so I've had that kind of route, but we've seen a ton of people who have come from the other side who weren't really comic collectors or even toy collectors, and then they've gotten involved with the digital side of things with VV and other platforms, and now they've gone into the comic shops and picked up the same comics that we've dropped. And you see them matching them up. It's amazing. And at the Comic-Con is a great example, right? So there's I think just anybody get their hands on, this beautiful world of comic book reading and collecting and everything. However they do it is fine. We all come from different pathways, but the stories are amazing. The artists are amazing. So, and we got a couple of really good ones coming out this weekend. So
Brandon says it's good.
Right,
awesome, appreciate that.
I'm just so stoked about Weapon X because I literally did not know about it. I was asking about previous drops because I know you guys dropped a lot of vintage comics, and so I figure, hey, what is that drop like? But now you guys are doing Weapon X. Terry, before I know you have to hop, but can you bless us with a quick Weapon X story from how it came together, something quirky, so that those who are going for the Weapon X drop, they should know.
Okay, so actually I contacted Barry asking him to do a cover for Marvel Comics Presents. For those who don't know, that was a comic that came out twice a month with 4 different stories in each issue. So I had to wrangle 8 creative teams every month just on that one title. And I had contacted Barry to do a cover And the next thing I knew, if I remember this correctly, Barry came in with 3 or 4 pages completed of his idea for this Weapon X storyline, which I was just thrilled by. And one of the mandates I had been presented with previously was we didn't always use Wolverine as the lead feature, but sales obviously went up when Wolverine was the lead feature. So Tom DeFalco, the editor-in-chief, had come to me and said, we always have to use Wolverine. So now I'm being handed this first part of an 8-part story by Barry Windsor Smith that just looks beautiful. I don't even know the full story yet. He pitches it to me. I love it. A problem with Marvel Comics Presents is I was not the shepherd of any of those characters. So anything that had to do with Wolverine had to go through the X-Men office. And the first roadblock, and Bob Harris was the editor of the X-Men, and he and I were very good friends, but he had a job to protect his characters. And so the first roadblock was he thought, you can't tell the origin of Wolverine. We've never told the origin of Wolverine. And I had to spin it, I think rightfully, that it was really just the origin of the implantation of his claws. And we wouldn't really be giving away any more details than that. It was just a study in pain.
This is cool.
Really. And so Bob went for it. And then it was
Dynamic Comics to VV Comics. Oh, wait, did they announce something else? Zombie, are you trolling me here, dude? You trolling me? Well, either way, I'm falling for it. We're checking. Oh, let's go. How did I miss that 2 hours ago? What the heck? I scrolled past this. How did I miss that? Dynamic Comics. We're thrilled to officially welcome Dynamic Comics to VV Comics. Stay tuned for updates when their legendary titles and fan favorite characters will be released. Alright. Who's heard of these guys? Again, I'm not big on the comic side, so are these guys big or... Okay. Titles? This is a outdated website. Jeez. Art of Atari. Oh, these guys got a big list. Whoa! What, do they have Yu-Gi-Oh? Where's Yu-Gi-Oh? Voltron? Transformers trading cards. I don't see Yu-Gi-Oh. Wow, they got a lot of stuff, though. What are you guys saying about this? Dynamic Comics. Digital Comics. Now, here's the question. Is either one of these announcements VV's secret drop announcement? Or do you guys think it's something bigger? I still feel like there's something bigger coming. I appreciate the info though, Zombie. I don't know how I missed that the first time, because we were on this page less than 2 hours ago, so... Very cool to know. Alright, you know what then? I might actually have to do a 2-parter tomorrow. We'll break these guys down and the other ones. That's awesome.
It's very popular around the
We'll keep this going here.
Pages came in. Everyone was Xeroxing them, you know, especially for market.
Backdoor says it's always great when VV expands. Secret drop ain't this. Yeah, I think the secret drop has to be something bigger. Has to be something bigger, right? I'm like, out of everything they've announced so far for this year, it's not bad stuff at all. Don't get me wrong. But it does not surpass Christian, Louis, and Funko and the stuff they did last year. So whatever this secret drop is, I feel like it's going to be it's a big title. What if it's the VV? No, sorry. Not getting my hopes up. Not getting my hopes up.
At one point, I would say I had about 3 chapters in the drawer from Barry at that point. I wasn't going to start printing until I had at least 6 in. And I got a call to Tom DeFalco's office, and Carol Kalish, who was the head of sales, was there in the office. And they told me that Weapon X was too good to go in Marvel Comics Presents, so we were going to print it as a prestige format book with upscale coloring that Barry could do, etc. And I argued and argued that Barry really liked the idea of the 8-page chapters. He had structured the story that way. He wanted it in Marvel Comics Presents.
They were previously on Terra Virtua. Oh, I know that name. I bought a bunch of them maybe 4 years ago. Terra is now called Virtua. They were very early and was the only competitor to Vivi in the very early days. Yeah, I do remember them. So you're saying these comics were on that platform? Huh. Well, they did have the digital comics tab, so.
Back to my office, stewed for a few minutes about it, went back to Tom DeFalco's office. Carol Kalish was already gone. And I said, okay, Tom, I just have to get this straight. So the mandate from you is I always have to do a Wolverine story as a lead feature. But if it's any good, it goes into a different format. So the mandate is I have to print crappy Wolverine stories in every issue of Marvel Comics Presents. And he just stared at me for a minute.
BV Zombie says, can we take a look at Dynamic Comics next? Yeah, man, we can do a deeper dive if you want. I was actually just on their website. That was their website, so it was a little outdated, but yeah, we can definitely take a look at more of the titles. Vampirella was for sure as I loaded up on it.
And I thought, I am way too close to the window. Here. And then in my memory, and he denies this, he said, sit down, and I sat down on the floor. He says I did not. I sat down on the couch, but in my memory, I just sat on the floor because he was glaring at me and said, you know, he said, sit down. He went to his desk. He called Carol Kalish back to the office and said, we're doing it in Marvel Comics Presents first, then we'll let Barry recolor it for an upscale, you know, prestige format book after that. So again, Tom and I got into a lot of very loud battles, but he listened. I certainly didn't win them all, but he could listen and really take it in and work with us. He really was a friend to the creators. He was not necessarily a friend to the 11th floor and the upstairs people, but he was a friend to the bullpen and the creators and editors. And then the only other story I really can tell is at one point I got called to Tom's office. We had begun printing at that point, and one of the issues was ready to go out. And Tom decided that we were seeing a little too much side thigh on Wolverine.
Oh, God.
It was a little too suggestive. Yeah, and it was a little too suggestive. So he's like, well, just send it in the bullpen and have him add some bubbles. I'm like, absolutely not. I'd be murdered by Barry the next day. I would absolutely have been murdered. So I'm like, absolutely not. I call up Barry. He comes in the next day. I thought to maybe add some bubbles or, I don't know, some leg hair, whatever. I don't think that would have counted to cover his thigh. But instead, he marched down to DeFalco's office with me, and I was witness to the strangest argument between two adult men I've ever attended about what constitutes the sexuality of Wolverine's side thigh and where it begins and where it ends and at what angle you could have. I mean, I was just, I didn't contribute to this conversation at all because I honestly couldn't follow most of it.
Yeah, it sounds like a conversation in 2024. Jeez.
But again, I think they ended up compromising, and you know, Tom probably wanted 20 bubbles and Barry did 8, and then no one died.
Wow,
that's amazing.
No one died.
I love Terry's story time. So Terry, thanks for making time. I know you got dinner. We'll let you go. So Vivi, we're about to get into a 24/7 comics drop catalog, but if you want your side thigh, it's dropping on Vivi.
Oh yeah.
So one second, Carl, give these guys my contact info if they want to.
I'll connect you guys for sure.
Thanks,
Terry.
See you guys.
See
ya.
All right, and the floor is yours. What the heck is happening? I know what's happening, but we gotta tell people what's going on this week, man. It's New York.
Yeah, the team have just touched down. We've got the team on the ground right now, and I can't tell you, so excited. They are just. We've done so much work. We've made some announcements. We've got more to come, and and Aaron's going to talk through a few now. But yeah, this is huge for us. So we've got the team there, and this is the new Vivi as well. We've got Dave and Dan there running things. We've got me here talking here. Now we can be in two places at once. So look, let's talk through what's happening, Aaron.
Yeah, no, it's pretty amazing. I'll arrive there tomorrow because I'm already on this side of the world, right? You know, some people had to go far for this one, but wouldn't miss it. You know, Sean, we'll see you guys there, right?
Yeah.
And Carl. So, but yeah, a couple things that we have. So, you know, we have the Evermind issue 2 coming out.
Evermind number 2. Paul says just logged into Virtua. They still have Dynamite. Forgot they also do the Boys comic. Great show. Oh, the boy, yeah, Osmond was mentioning that show. So Dynamite is still on the platform. Okay, cool. I'm gonna have to look more into them. I've never heard of them before, so.
And that's going to be on Saturday.
Are these? I assume are they smaller or more like well known? Right, they have a huge catalog, so.
And, so that one's coming out. That's the second issue, and then right after that we have, of course, you know, Bobo, you know, which is coming up, the digital collectible.
That Bobo collectible is just so weird.
Pacific, which is like, you know, 2 hours later. So, which is, you know, 1 p.m. So those two are coming out on Saturday the 19th, and that's going to be great. And then, of course, I know we have, you know,
who's going for Boba?
One of your guests coming up.
Bobo, not Boba.
Reveal for Sunday, which is going to be amazing as well, right? With Swaggle the Sanity comic. So that one's coming out on Sunday, which is great. And then also we have, you know, the two of we also have the signings.
Oh, speaking of Swaggle House,
on Saturday we have the Evermind signings right at our booth from like 11 to 12. So if you're at Comic-Con, come to the VV booth, get your comics, you know, get some signatures, you know, have some fun, meet the artists and everything like that with Sean and Daniel and all that on the Evermind. And then on the Sunday we're gonna have, of course, you know, Mickey, right? You can see him in just a sec, right? Oh, there he is! He's over there!
Oh
my god! Yeah. I'll let him talk about it.
So guys, real quick, Mickey, before you jump into Sanity, apologize for Sean Chen. He's supposed to be here today, but
Paul says Bobo's the Temu Donkey Kong. The knockoff version of him. That's funny. Backdoor says not me. Yeah, I definitely raised an eye when an eyebrow when I saw that drop get announced, but hey, all down to preference. If you want to go for it, but definitely not my cup of tea. But
Verizon has an outage in his area, so he has no internet. So
Donkey Kong, on the other hand, hell yeah.
Kind of like all the Floridians. God bless everyone. Everyone's being safe out there. Now Sean doesn't have internet in New York, so we're gonna jump right to Sanity.
Well, we're just because like you know, like Sean and Spencer were saying earlier, you know, with the different publishers, you know, that we have Marvel. I mean, it's this incredible, but to have you guys and then you know, and to have like new
Notorious says start a fan club. It's gonna be a fan club for every single collectible. A Bobo fan club. Could you imagine? Oh my god. That would be so dumb.
Comics coming out for the fans to get into these stories. And I know, Ben, I mean, like, we've talked and big plans about what we're
Oh, Raining, dude. Sorry, I didn't even see your comment. Speaking of catalogs, where's your merch? It's gonna be in either the link in my bio on X, or you can go to the description of any of our YouTube episodes. Not our live streams, our episodes. But the shop link's in there as well. So, and that goes for anybody else who wants to. Well, New York's a little late now, but if you guys want to shop for Vegas Decon, I did drop some new merch designs as well. So, link in bio. I'm talking about this right here. So click that. Boom. And then, well, here's some of the new designs, but we got one with the Aventador SVJ, the Decon piece, we got the Maserati, nice little simple travel tee. I also dropped the Great Wave VV hoodie. I ordered one of these for me. I like this one a lot, so. But yeah, we got a full catalog in here, so if you guys want to check it out, feel free to. That's my little plug.
We're going to do with more publishers and more artists.
And by the way, Raining, thank you for doing that. Thank you for the support. Appreciate that.
Or like, it's just a way to get people into these stories and like to expose them to these great artists and just expand the library. I'm as pumped as you could be for this weekend. You know,
what's really cool about it is we said it before, right? This is about people who are already into comics, exposing them to new publishers, new stories, but also a lot of our collectors aren't into comics, haven't been previously, and just we've got the Marvel catalog we're really proud of, but starting to broaden it out and just become a real platform for publishers.
There we go, right there. I talked about how Vivi's building their own ecosystem, creating a platform for publishers, right there. Backdoor says I'll be wearing CGD tees at the logo party. Let's go. Yeah, Backdoor just got his merch not long ago. Thanks again for the review you left.
We're stoked about it, and our customers are loving it. So yeah, the more the merrier.
Notorious is level 4 and off the grid. Oh, dude, you're past me. I think I'm level 2 still. Bought my first 2 weapons and have almost 60 gun bucks. You have almost 60? The heck? I'm at like 17. How are you getting them? Are you completing the challenges, or are you getting them from like just playtime? Because there's been like multiple games that I've gone into and I earned 0. Like not even like a decimal. It was 0.
Dude, so Mickey, how you feeling, man?
Dude, I'm so excited. Like I just think it's like such an honor to be, included in this. I mean, especially with somebody who's like, it's come full circle. You think back to like even with Sean and Spencer, we all kind of started our channels back in COVID times and My Collectibles too, and I think that's kind of when Vivi came out, and I was kind of eyeballing it a little bit and playing around and buying things, and then Carl, we kind of reconnected through our comic nerddom, and now it's just been this opportunity where it's like, oh, this book I got to create, through all these vehicles is now coming on Vivi. It feels surreal, and to be able to bring it to New York Comic Con and collaborate with people like Sean Chen, who did that cover. That's the second on the left right there, to collaborate with artists that, I grew up reading their comic books. It's really just a cool experience. And I just hope that people on Vivi, give it a chance and take a look, and I hope they enjoy it. So
I'm so excited.
Very nice. Very nice.
Man, this looks awesome. Yeah. I had no idea you were working on this. This is great.
This is such a cool surprise.
Yeah, this is amazing.
It looks like a cool comic. Are you guys going to be going for it? Let me know.
For audience who hasn't heard of Sanity yet, can you share a little bit about your background and the journey behind it all and leading up to this drop this weekend?
Yeah, absolutely. So Sanity is a Lovecraftian pulp adventure.
Oh, guys, I got to turn the audio down a little bit when he's talking. His mic audio is way higher.
A little bit of
blowing my eardrums out. Challenges in game time, Notorious says. Got to get hexes and get lucky with a good team. Oh, that's how you're doing it. The hexes. Okay, so you're completing... Okay, so you're doing the actual, like, objectives as well. I don't think I've actually ever done one of those yet. That's good to know. Vivi Zombie says, why do you not think we have seen more interactive collectibles like the weapon rack? Is the weapon rack interactive? Wait, whoa. If the weapon rack's interactive, that went right over my head, dude. I thought it was just an art piece. Vivi weapon rack. Is this interactive? It's an older piece, so I'd be surprised if they don't have it on the display photo, but... Because I've heard people speculate, like, you could, maybe take some of this stuff off in the future, but... Interactive pieces, I think we have seen them. I mean... what was the car that just got announced? The Spider Buggy. That's interactive, so you're going to be able to tap that and have the webs kind of shoot out. So I guess it really depends on what you mean by interactive, but I think we're still seeing them.
Backstory, my YouTube channel.
Sven says it's like a trio battle royale with objectives. Yeah. Yeah, there's a lot going on in that battle, or in the map. From objective, like things you can do, things you can climb up. There's just so much like obstacles. Cars everywhere, shrubbery everywhere. It's like in Fortnite, you can walk into like the middle of an open field and there's nothing around you, right? So there's no spots like that in that map. There's so many hiding spots, so many corners. Sven says the weapon rack, if you combine with the duck, it makes the duck move. Oh, you know what? I think I did know that. That sounds familiar. You guys are reminding me now. The secret rare rack. We got J-Matt in the chat. You can speak to Bobo. I think you meant Bobo, right? AI-powered Bobo is now live. Speak with him to learn more about Evermind series. Where's that, J-Matt? Is that on their website? Where'd you find that? Didn't they play music also? Might have the... I don't remember music being associated with the Gondek pieces. Maybe I'm wrong on that, but...
Channel, which is Swaggle You know what?
Thanks for the reminder though, Sven.
My side of my, you know, what we talk about on my channel is a lot of times physical, vintage comic book collecting. You know, so my audience is, you know, has familiarity with that. So as someone who's always been a creative outside of my YouTube, I've always done screenwriting and work in video games and such. I wanted to do a comic book, and I thought, well, what would my audience...
Sven, I don't know how much time you got left, dude. I know it's late where you are. If you want to end the stream with a Fortnite game, I know they updated the map with all the Halloween stuff, and now my my stuff isn't crashing anymore. So let me know, because I can either do it now to save you some time, because you're ahead of me time-wise, or I can just finish this real quick. I think it's like 10 more minutes.
Audience be interested in reading. So I wanted to create a comic book that kind of pays homage to that 1930s style, you know, golden age comic book. I mean, when you think of DC comic books, it literally stands for Detective Comics. So that's kind of the root of what comic books are.
I knew that.
So
I knew
this is
that.
Sort of a, you know, a take on that. You know, it's about Robert Grant, a private investigator who gets hired by this Hollywood socialite, Catherine Dumas, upon, you know, her brother going missing. So she hires him, and he kind of picks up the case, and you know, strange tentacly things happen in the shadows as he kind of digs deeper. So that was kind of the comic book, and you know, or kind of my pitch of how it all came together. And Carl, you know, we've been working on the 24/7 titles together with Evermind and helping doing some of the creative work for that. So you know, with this all, it all kind of came together that you know, 24/7 brought me on to kind of get the chance to.
Sven says Josh Emmett on the stream. No. Okay. I don't think so. I don't think so. JMat won our giveaway with Flick Play. Won the baby shark. That's funny.
So, yeah, here we are.
Shout out to Josh though.
And you know, Ben, we'd love to hear from you as well. You know, obviously, you know, the big twos supply you guys with a ton of content. And more recently, you know, we feel very honored to be one of the first independent publishers to collaborate with your team. And I feel like I get as much support as any big two would. So
Addiction. That was the other small publisher I was trying to think of earlier. I was like, I feel like I'm missing one. Yeah, the Addiction.
what are like the big plans, and what gets you excited about seeing drops like this coming to VV?
So first of all, we love having you. So the honor's all ours. But yeah, look, we since day one we set out to be a platform for all IPs and all fandoms, and so that's across collectibles and comics, and so that's been our vision from day one. And so yeah, you're going to see us continuing to add, both in comics and collectibles and some other verticals, continuing to add more licenses, more IPs, and more fandoms, and just bringing more people into the space. So for us, actually, we're talking about New York. New York is all about, activating, meeting the community, doing drops and all that kind of thing. But also, it's a great time for us to have some side conversations and some new partners, work with some existing ones, because just everybody's there, right? So for us, it's we're always working 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10 months in advance. Building that pipeline, and comics is just the same. So yeah, really pleased to have you guys.
You said work with existing ones.
And just keep watching this space.
So exciting. How about you, Sean and Spencer? Like, how are you guys feeling about this whole drop? Because you guys been along for the VV ride for a long time now. We're getting all mixed up with our kind of indie label into all the big things happening right next to Weapon X.
He's so happy about that.
Come together like this, and just being a part of that experience, going to in-person events, there's nothing like it. It's really special, and I encourage everyone out there, if you haven't been to an in-person event, I highly recommend it. It gets better and better every time you go. It's really a special experience.
You just make closer and closer friends, and you get closer and closer every event, so then it becomes more and more fun every time. So yeah.
Yeah, in fact, Aaron, speaking of in person, we're gonna be at your booth for
that's right.
2 days, right? What times are we there? I think if people want to get their book signed,
that's right.
I think Flaggle House will be on Sunday, right?
Yeah, over there at Sunday from 2 to 3. So I'm looking forward to it. I just so you know, like I've been a big fan of your channel for the longest time. Just watching all the work you do, and how you actually, one of my favorite videos that you do is when you actually go to the different comic shows, like maybe locally in your area, and you talk to the actual vendors, the people who are like on the ground, on the floor, like ask them like how the industry's going, what trends they see. I love those. And you got your little microphone, you're like, hey, how's it going? And so, and you changed your background recently. I know you did that move, right? But so I'm a big fan of your channel. I know you mentioned when you started it, with comics and crypto as well. I watch those guys. We know each other, and so it's great to get a chance to meet you. I met you just briefly at San Diego Comic-Con, I believe, right? And so it's gonna get a chance to see you at our booth on like 2 to 3 on Sunday, the 20th, to meet everybody else as well. But Ben made a great point, because I know like our founders, our original co-founders, of course, David and Dan, are going to be there, and like Ben was saying, they talk to a lot of different.
It's going to be nice to see Dan again. Because I think the last time I actually saw Dan was that interview he did in December of last year. I think that was the last time we saw him, right? If I'm not mistaken. The guy's had his head down working.
People, and they actually, that's where they kind of find new people to kind of do things with and partner with, as well as like throughout the whole year. But it's just at San Diego Comic-Con. I mean, they were just talking to stuff and meeting people, and we've seen actually some of that come to the app, pretty quickly, right? Which is pretty amazing. So I know you guys will have a chance to chat. I kind of want to know too, like how it all came together with VV, right? With you guys, with your comics, specifically Swaggle House, like how you got this going.
J-Met, I did it again, dude. I'm sorry. It would be something if Bobo Collectible was integrated with Report so it can speak. Yeah, it's. I think it's still going to be a number of years before we see stuff like that, because it's a liability for the IP. Where if the AI says something that it's not supposed to, or maybe it is programmed a certain way, but the user finds a way to get around it, then yeah, it's a liability for the business, or even VV, right, where they might lose like a partnership. So I think stuff like that has to be more ironed out before we see companies starting to use it more. But we're not far away. If you guys have seen like the phones having conversations back and forth with each other of like ChatGPT 4, like the robot will talk to itself. It sounds like two humans having just like a normal conversation. So Sven says, gotta go to sleep. Good night. Have a good night, man. We'll talk soon. Thank you as always for coming by and supporting.
Going, and how you got onto the app. I know our fans love to hear those stories.
Yeah. Well, it's all.
By the way, while we still have him here, Sven is going to be taking a video and dancing, or a video that I'm going to be doing with Mr. MC1 when he comes back from New York. So I'm just going to say that live right now to put him on the spot and make sure that people hold him accountable to that. If you guys don't see a video of Sven, it wasn't me, it was him. Okay? Let me repeat that. It wasn't me, it was him.
It's all Carl. It's all Carl 24/7. I mean, Carl and I have had a friendship and working relationship for like many years. Before YouTube, before this comic world, we've always kind of go back, or our lives kind of go back in the day, and it was really a funny thing because when I started my YouTube channel during COVID, I think Carl just discovered my YouTube channel organically. He might have been one of the first people, say, in my outside YouTube life that found my channel and was like, yo, I didn't know you like comic books, and then we kind of connected over that. And, so I've been doing some work and some support for 24/7, and the stars just kind of aligned with this one. Maybe Carl has more to say about that.
Yeah, no, it definitely was like definitely the stars realigning, because I would say everyone here has a component, because obviously Mickey, he comes on, does a lot of creative direction of what we do on the videos. The Zero Ghost video, if you guys haven't seen it yet, freaking amazing. Then I met the Comics and Crypto guys in this world of Web3, because when we first started, we were really bullish about what that technology can do, but in more decentralized way. So that was kind of like the camp we were working in. But we really believe in storytelling and what comic books can do as a new form of digital assets. And it was cool though, after kind of playing in that field for a few years, we realized VV had it right all along, because having a safer, closed ecosystem actually makes more sense for the long haul when it comes to collectibles. And so we've always talked about that, right? I think with Sean and Spencer, so we'll go on on spaces all the time, talking about the different worlds, how different people are doing it differently. And then ultimately one day I was over at the Shortbox booth, and I ran to Mr. David Yu himself, and then we met. He gave me his card, but I didn't contact him until, I believe, after we ran to each other again, like a comic art, like something about comic art, like his name came up about comic art collecting, and I collect comic art as well. And then I just pinged him, and we first nerded out about all the collectibles and all the crap we have in our room first. Then we started ideating about working together, because we realized, in the space of decentralization, there is like a long way to go when it comes to like the very fragmented space, because I think an ideal marketplace for comic books is about 80% readers, 20% speculators to drive that thesis forward. But what you see in like the larger landscape of decentralization is probably like 90% speculators and 99% speculators and 1% readers. And so it was really hard to get the type of traction that we wanted. And so when we started really hanging out with the VV community and like diving in, we're like, wow, very like-minded individuals. People here to collect. Not only that, people read. And on top of that, VV has brought so many people into the physical space. And so that part was like the mind-blowing piece for us. And so it only made sense that we basically start bringing it all together. We started releasing, obviously, Evermind earlier this year. Then we did Zero Ghost #1. Speaking of Zero Ghost, let's bring Zero Ghost crew on the table as well. Let's get them on stage. And then might as well introduce Kreese, because we're going to talk about another title after that as well. But ultimately, that was the journey. Now, super excited. I wish Sean was here to talk about Evermind #2, because that's going to be one of the best reads as well. But Sanity is going to be dropping Sunday. So, more and more, our goal is to be able to schedule additional drops with the VV fam and really start putting some great books out there.
Coolio. All right, I think this is where Ben drops out. So I think that's pretty much this video. Let me know if I'm missing anything else, guys. If we have anyone in the chat who watched the full thing, let me know. Sven had to take off though. Notorious, I don't know if you're in the chat. If you want to link up in Fortnite, I'm gonna run a couple games to end this stream. But for anyone just tuning in, we started off over in Off the Grid, opening some NFT packs over there. It's that new Web3 game. We then moved over into the interview that Randy did with Ben. I think it was yesterday. And then we looked at the new comic publishers and went through this. Oh yeah, Zombie wanted me to go over Dynamite more. Zombie, are you still in the chat? Because we did look at the website already, so let me know. I'm gonna hop over into Fortnite here. We'll run 1 or 2 games. I need some water. Jeez. And then if anybody's watching who wants to link up, let me know. I'll send you an invite. Do that. But yeah, don't really have much to add to what we kind of watched today. There wasn't really too many big points, if I'm honest with you. I don't even know if I'm going to recap the Randy interview, but my opinion towards Ben hasn't changed. He seems like a great addition, and he seems super passionate about what he's doing, what he's talking about. If it ain't raining, said just picked up the original Iron Man Gold t-shirt. Oh, t-shirt. Matches my collectible and NFT. Thank you. Thank you, thank you. Well, whenever that arrives, man, you'll have to let me know how you like it. The Iron Man Gold. Are you talking about the Funko? I think that's what you're talking about, right? If you're talking about the Iron Man Funko, it's available in that heavyweight shirt, and that heavyweight is my favorite thing in the store. So, actually, I'm looking at it right now. That is what you grabbed. Nice. Yeah, the heavyweight tees are nice. I'm in Canada, so the weather is very up and down year round. So, the heavyweights are nice for kind of the spring and fall season. So. Paul saying, adios amigo. Time for bed. Dude, you're in the UK? You're in the UK. I appreciate you still watching, man. It's late where you are. But yeah, Paul, thank you, thank you, thank you. You were with us at the beginning. You're still with us now, so really, really appreciate you. Yeah, the Funko, yeah. Who should we play as? Let's do Shuri. This game is bugging lately. I don't know why. My music is playing in game, but you guys can see it's at 0. It's so weird. Anyways. Let me know in the chat, guys, if anyone wants to join. But we have an update on the map now, so we have the Saw update, the Jigsaw, so you can play a little game. We have Edward Scissorhands. We got pumpkins scattered all over the map now. Raining is watching while he's at work. Well, hey, don't get in trouble, but thank you. And that's multitasking at its finest right there. He said time to clock out. There you go. Appreciate you. Look at this guy. Disco ball inside of a... Oh, I thought there was a microwave. I was like, that makes no sense. We'll run 1 or 2 games of this and then call it a stream. I don't know where to go though. Let's just go here. But yeah, if you guys have enjoyed the stream, make sure to hit the thumbs up button. They got the water turning red. I'm gonna move my mic a little further away here. Hopefully you guys can still hear me fine. Alright, we got some shield. I will take that, and I will take this. So we did learn in this interview that Ben apparently plays Fortnite. Dr. Prophet plays Fortnite. Ben plays Fortnite. Oh, we got somebody over here going for the bots. Oh, did they see me coming? There was someone right here. I was trying to lure this other guy. I don't know where he went, though, but... Alright. Give me a better shotgun. I need a better shotgun. You ask, you shall receive. Alright, let's go to Raft. Token still up. See if we can get the token here. Oh, we got somebody in the air. Oh, my aim is bad. There's someone else trying to shoot him, though. We'll take that. Where'd you go? He was right here. He's right there. He's right there. I don't... Did he see me? I think he saw me. I think he saw me. What the heck? Just... Oh, one more shot. I would have got him. Good time to get a third party there. All right, we'll run one more, and then we'll wrap things up. But if you guys have any questions or final topics you want me to discuss, drop them in the chat, and we'll go from there. I thought that was Emma Frost at first. The art in Fortnite is really nice too. It's got like the 4 of 16 Fortnite X Marvel. Do, 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 do. Man, I need to get on Notorious's level. I need to get more tokens in that game so I can open more packs. We should do that for more videos in the future. Pack openings. Alright, let's go... Let's drop over here. Let's drop somewhere we don't normally drop. See how it goes for us. Got the little Halloween decorations on the bus. Alright, I think there is a... I'm thinking of the right spot. I think there is a chest here. We'll go for that. I don't think people are going to follow us over here. Oh, I say that, and there's somebody higher than us. This person's going for what I'm going for. Oh, we got two. I'm going here. Take that. Okay, what I need is over here. I don't know where this guy landed, though. Oh. That's one right there. Alright, in and out. Easy, easy. We need a shotgun, though. Oh, we'll take that. Yeah, I'll take that. Oh, we got our first, Oh, it's what's his name? From, My Hero Academia. I think that's the one. Okay. Get ourselves a vehicle and take off, shall we? Feel like there's not much happening over here. Be quiet. Oh, what am I saying? I don't need a vehicle. Oh, car's gone. Actually, you know what? I'm gonna use the... Use the chainsaw as my shotgun instead. Damn. They did some damage to my... truck. Another one bites the dust, as Queen would say. Oh, hello, hello. He doesn't see me. Heal up. Oh, here's the... what's it called? Boom Billies. Got another one right here. Oh, bad driving. Bad driving. Ignore that. Look at that. Perfect. Back in. Oh, he's got a bow. Are they teaming? Oh, it's only one person. Guy's gonna try and take my kill. Don't take it. Oh, I got it. I got it. I got it. I got it. I'm gone. I need a better vehicle. Let's get some health here first. Boom. Is that guy chasing me? Oh. Sit down. Alright, this thing landed over here. See if we can try and get a, some boots. There we go. That's what we want. Alright. Where is everyone? Oh, they got a pumpkin on the Mount Olympus statue. That's funny. Oh, we got somebody right downstairs. Alright, that worked. Rainin, dude, thank you so much for stopping by. I have a team meeting via Zoom in 10. Well, good luck with the meeting. I'm sure we'll chat soon enough. No way. Oh my god. I just choked that so badly. And that is how it can be over in a heartbeat like that. Alright, ladies and gents, that is going to conclude today's stream. We started in Off the Grid. We talked about Ben's last interview with Randy. We also watched back the part with MC, Comics and Crypto, and Ben with 24/7 Comics. And we also... Let me exit this. No idea why that music is playing. And then we also went through all the comic publishers that they've now announced. So lots of things happening. Very exciting. I'm really pleased with what Ben's saying in these interviews. I know there are a lot of repetitive points right now, but no, he's saying all the right things. So, but if you guys did enjoy the stream, make sure to hit the thumbs up, subscribe, follow, depending on where you guys are watching from. And then if you guys do have any topics in mind you want me to cover first on the channel, let me know, either in the chat or the comment section. And just like that little recommendation with DC and Palm, I'll take them into consideration. So thanks again for everyone watching, and I'll catch you guys in the next one. Later.
Again, love all the people that you've been having on. I still don't know what Gregory the Butler does, but listen, someday maybe we'll find out about that.
The time is now, the vibe is now. I see you moving towards my way. You want me to get close to you. I feel your body next to me. Feels like you were only there for a season, but we can relink, don't need reason. Cause tonight's about you. Tonight's about you. Girl, it's the way you move, got nobody doubt you. Tonight's about you. Tonight's about you. Tonight's about you. I know you don't play games. I know you the same, but you still find new ways to ignite all this passion. Make all of your waves, girl. I'm truly astounded by you. She like the room like a high beam. Smooth girl, you move like lightning. True queen, everything you do mean. Head to the shoes, kill it all like it's routine. Everything she do nicely. Independent woman on her own type of vibe. She got it on her own, gone girl, you might be. Everything that make a young man sing, me that one dance singer. The time is now, the vibe is now. I see you moving towards my way. You want me to get close to you. I feel your body next to me. Feels like you were only there for a season, but we can relink, don't need reason. Cause tonight's about you. Tonight's about you. Girl, it's the way you move, can nobody doubt you. Tonight's about you. Tonight's about you.
Hey, yo, CD's fan, we live. Let's see some hunters in the chat. Hunters in spaces, we burn it on me tonight. Let's go.
High heels in motion. Her time heals what's broken. I know you the same, but I can't help the notion that maybe if you spent one night we'd get close. And I don't know what that just might do. Still, girl, we can run that when we done that. Catch your fancy, make a run back on a comeback. Girl, you know I want that scene. You I want that scene. Girl, ain't nothing that scene. Another one that's some trouble. Some kill it, disrupt it, she kill it, baby. Then double down. Give me, baby, make it, give me soon as you come around. I see that fire in your eyes. Let's burn this crib down for the night. The time is now, the vibe is now. I see you moving towards my way. You want me to get close to you. I feel your body next to me. Feels like you were only there for a season, but we can relink, don't need reason. Cause tonight's about you.